Connor, could you please describe to the listeners what they're either looking at or listening to right now?
They're listening to multiple attempts at me trying to do this, but you know what they're looking at?
What are they looking at?
A deadly hoodie.
The deadly new hoodie. So our new hoodie is the 306D Turbo, captioned "Even Death Keeps Felt Alive," because the Grim Reaper himself has realised that old school 306s are cool as fuck. And Connor, in this photo, can you describe to the listeners what they're looking at / what are they listening to?
I'm in my Sunday best, and you know what's good for the Sunday best?
What's good for the Sunday best, Connor?
LSD gilets.
Very, very, I like that hook a lot. So I've actually been wearing my gilet a lot for work. It goes really, really well with the likes of a polo shirt or a normal shirt. It's like you can maintain, you can be professional and still support the brand, you know?
Oh, totally. I tried it out there at the weekend. We had a wee house party to go to, and it was a great accessory to wear along with a shirt.
You do literally look like the sexiest thing imaginable. A Falvey salesman.
Faly do not endorse this product. So along with the new hoodie and the new gilet, we've also got all the standard range that we've been selling for so far. So folks, if you want to look class on Christmas Day, get on to shop.limitedslapdifferences.com.
I like that a lot, Connor. And now, on to the podcast.
Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the ages, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pole. Hey Michael.
Hello.
What's crack with you?
Damn all. How are you?
Oh, very well, hi.
NM, you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Intro done. And now we have a guest. What's crack, everybody? Welcome to the I Agree Automotive Podcast by Limited Slip Differences, or Limited Slip Diffs as most people know us now.
Or Limited Slip Diff.
Or
which is
you can figure out your own name for it.
Yeah.
It's a mouthful.
Or the LSD podcast.
Or that too.
Not about drugs, by the way.
No, that's not really our thing.
Strictly I Agree Automotive.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Where we talk everything: cars, tractors, very old time cows, and actually, for once in our life,
Lorries.
They'd only took
47 episodes.
Like, was it the first intro or the second intro that we were like, oh, we'll talk a wee bit about lorries too?
And maybe the third as well.
And the only thing we ever did talk about was because this one time when you were outside Bandcamp in Cookstown and you were at the filling station in the Dungannon Road and you heard a V8 go by.
I love V8. I love a deadly V8 slap.
Well, everybody does, but that was like the only time.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we're in episode
47. You forgot again, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm Connor.
And I am Michael. So this week in the podcast, we're actually running a shortened episode.
It's the longest episode of our lives. We started recording at like 9 and we finished at 12:30.
So this week in the podcast, we're running a shortened intro and shortened ending, simply because we had a guest, Peter Falvey, on the pod with us this week, and
from Bad Company.
And genuinely, like, when we say this is a podcast worth listening to, we truly mean it.
To say that we came out of it, the guest segment, and we were left inspired.
Our minds were blown.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like, you don't really listen to things. I don't want to turn around and say, like, this podcast will change your life. If it did that, amazing. Very good. But what I would say is we definitely come out with a different perspective on things.
There's a strong message through it.
Yes.
Primarily, I suppose it's okay to not be okay. Mm-hmm. And if you are having a difficult time, this might help in some way, shape or form with your difficult time, and show that regardless of how bad it is, it possibly really isn't that bad.
Yeah. So we'll jump to the guest segment in a little bit. But really, we just kind of, to break the fourth wall, we kind of brought that in now to really hold your attention. Before we get to the guest, the main thing we really done the last couple of weeks was we visited the Moira Model Construction Show. So our last podcast, episode 46 with Hugh Barr, we released that early ahead of the Moira show, and I wasn't really sure of the reception that really would get. Would people care? Did it really make a difference? And Connor, you can sort of agree with me on this one. I was very, very pleasantly surprised by how well we were received by the model farming community.
So I had never been to a model show before.
I'd never been to one with as many dioramas. I've been to like a sales show. There used to be one in the Maharaboy House Hotel.
Okay.
But I was never at one with like all the, the actual situation pieces.
Well, like I had, and models to me, before the conversation with you and in the previous podcast, and any sort of experience of any show, which was none, was playing basically with farm models whenever you were away, and seeing videos and maybe photos and TikTok and stuff like that, of the dioramas, which until the show I didn't know what they were, or never even heard of that name before. Excuse me. But to say my mind was fucking blown would be an understatement. The level of detail in that, and as you say, we're releasing the pod early on that Friday. Like, look, I get we do a podcast, and you never, like, we're not exactly big, but it's whenever you go somewhere like Ahio, there was guys come up and said hello and all that there, and you're like,
it's like that close-knit community.
You're like, holy fuck, you listen to us. Like, what?
Yeah, look, see, to be honest, like walking around that in general, like all the places, like I would say 90% of the people showing at Moira listened to the pod. If they didn't listen to the pod, they at least knew us from TikTok, which I was kind of like, holy shit.
Well, like, I was standing at a wee diorama, and there was an actual agitator slurry mix, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, that was class.
And it was just pumped away. I was like, holy fuck, that's deadly. And then somebody's like, I think it was Adrian, said to me, oh, there's wee boy Welton. So you were standing sort of looking at there, and then you were waiting obviously for the young fella, Frank McCahan, I think it's the way it's pronounced his second name.
Right, I thought it was McCarran, but
it could be, but you were standing looking at it, and you were waiting obviously for, he was obviously speaking to other ones. And as soon as you get free, you were like, fair play, that's fucking amazing, that class, the detail you went to, and even like, how did you do this, how did you do that? And then he was explaining, and then just out of nowhere, we were talking about, the roads of disaster or something, I said, and he was like, oh, did you come to the type R? And I was like, you listen? And then he was like, oh yeah, no, surely, I'd listen, blah blah blah. And I was like, wow. And just another quick example for me was James Richmond. So we would walk around, and he had a wee diorama of a milking parlour.
Yes, his was class as well. It was really, really
and
good.
I was like, it's a fucking model milking parlour. Like, to get the wee figures to stand, one was at the front of the milking parlour, you could say, or else the back, can't mind at the time, but with a volume hose, washing, it's not that there was any water, but it was just the fact that the figure stand with a wee hose, and then somebody in the pit, and then the cows in the cubicles, and you were like, oh, how did you do that? And you used X, Y and Z, you did this that way, and then I was just basically like, oh, this is really cool, because I'm a dairy farmer. I never thought this was even possible. And then all I got was, oh no. And they're like, yeah, holy fuck, you listen. I'm not to say, not to sound silly, but you're only human at the end of the day. You don't expect, you're going to that there not expecting anybody to listen to it.
Well, like, what else? Like, I bumped into Jack Hood, who was showing, and Jack Hood, I was like, Jack, where's your at? And he goes, look for the one that has all the hardship, and you'll see that's mine. And I was like, alright, okay. So I came across a diorama where there's literally a trailer lying tipped over, a digger and a tractor stuck in a moss hole, a tail door had opened on another trailer drawing silage. There was a man getting completely killed in the silage pit, and I just looked down and went around the side, and then the next thing I just saw the sheep, and there's a twin cam diffing in the middle of the yard,
which you didn't notice
until you pointed it out. And I was just like, whose is that? Jacket. Yep. Okay, that explains it. So that was my quote of the night, was just look for the model that's just covered in hardship, and that's mine. A couple of other ones was Luca Thompson, young cub, come up and said, he goes, he just come up and showed me a picture of my Sierra, and he's like, oh, I listened to the podcast, and I was like, class, fair play, thanks for that. And then I went and bought a wee Fraser Truller. Now, the fella specifically said, I know his name now, who it is, but he said, no, he goes, I operate under the radar, say no on, because I was like, I'll give you a shout. And he said, no, don't worry about it. I was like, oh, how much for the wee Fraser Truller? And he says, oh, X price to you. And I was like, okay. And he says, I listened to the podcast. He goes, keep up the good work. And I was like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Happy enough with that. And then I was chatting to, a young cub called Owen Brennan. And he had a setup as well. And because there was a Fate with a cane trailer on, caught my eye naturally. And then we were chatting. He was like, oh, because speaking to him anyway. And then I was saying I was going to take a video for TikTok. And I was like, here, tell me. I was like, how much do you think you have invested in this model, like setup? 18,000. And his wasn't even, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm not running on down myself, his wasn't the biggest there. There's plenty going on, but it wasn't one of the biggest there.
Do you want to know, right, and this is just maybe a me thing, maybe not anybody else, but the only problem, and it's a nice problem to have, is you go to see some of the dioramas, and you have to study them, because see, whenever you were looking at them, you were like, oh my god, look at that there. Yeah. And then you fucking look at that there. Because you scanned over it and you were like, that's deadly. And then you actually looked and you seen the different wee details and the different wee things that somebody had done. And then the longer you looked and then you maybe went away and then you come back and you seen it again, you were like, fuck, I never even noticed that. And the Moira Model Club on their Facebook posts had all the different dioramas up and all the various photos. And I still missed the fucking half of it.
Honestly, there was stuff I missed. But here's another interesting point about Owen Brennan. Does a bit of sim drifting.
Oh.
Yeah, so he was showing me a sim rig. It's fucking class. I was like, how do you get time to do that if you're building models? And he was like, I don't. And then I was like, I see. And then he has a Lexus track car as well. He showed me videos of him hooping her around the farm. And I was like, Cobb's living his best life. Fair play.
Honestly, it just goes to show you that most things agri turn into automotive as well.
Yeah, 100%. There's 100%. You look, Jack Hood had the twin cam definitely hard, and up the hill had the 3 Mark IIs beside like the windmills and his setup. Did you see that? But like the details some of them boys go into. Who else was there? Jay Bunton had a small setup. Hugh Barr's trying to talk me into building a JF 900. Well, it's probably going to be an 1100 with a JF 900 sticker on it for the kit that we're doing in memory of Dad. And Mark Phelan came over from Germany. He's Cura 32 or something, farm models. He came over as well. His stuff is incredibly detailed. His stuff was absolute class.
There's the one other thing I wrote down very quickly here was,
and I don't mean to cause offence to anybody who we've missed. This is just stuff I've written down, and after a while I just stopped writing stuff down. I've taken a lot of videos, but I just stopped writing stuff down because I was like, this is class and I wanted to enjoy it.
Well, there was one there, so whenever I was a weeing, because obviously Quinn Brothers done the silage whenever I was a weeing, I was always on the lookout for a Red Rock silage tiller model.
Yeah.
And, just for behind the Massey model I had at the time. Yeah. Never could, obviously, they didn't exist. And I know, having seen various different types of them, even at the show and that there, where I suppose, like it was described as one selling, say, Red Rock trillers, there maybe a cane triller was painted different colours, and that was described, this is a toy, that's not really a display piece. Whereas, like, for instance, if I bring, like James Richmond had an old Kramer shovel.
Yes, he did.
And I was like...
There was also someone who had a Mary.
There was, but 2 seconds before you talk about Mary and that,
it was obvious.
Like, I was like, how do you even do that? And then he described his various ways. Now, it's been a while and it's went out of my head and I don't want to do him injustice with that. But, excuse me. But, like, he was showing me that it's in no way, shape or form could you ever play with this because things are just sitting there just for display purposes. Yeah. Like, he literally just lifted it by the wheels and he was like, look, the bonnet's just sitting there and that. And I was like, no, fair enough, if that's what that's for, it's, just a show display. But your model Farmer 6710, yes, had a few things possibly for sale. I can't mind accurately enough, but he had a Red Rock trailer done.
I think I've seen that one.
The classic Red Rock trailer with the slope side, and even with the later style of them, had the wee support boils at the top of the crib either side, mesh at the front and that. The only thing, in my opinion, and has been beyond picky, was the TM was not 110% accurate, but it was still a deadly model of a TM. And I was just like, that's unreal. Only suppose if that had have existed when I was younger, knowing how fragile a proper accurate display piece is with the way they're made, you'd only end up probably as a child breaking it.
I've already sort of cracked my trailer a wee bit. I lifted it out, and I lifted it out a bit too.
Oh, with a crib possibly instead of the wheels.
But it's fine because I'm actually gonna modify that trailer a wee bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a higher side on one side. I'm gonna get Hugh to sort me out with a bit of plastic strut, and I'm gonna put a higher side on one side, and I'm gonna put a mesh crib across the front.
Oh, right,
Hugh has all that stuff there. I also bought a wee 6635 model.
Yes.
Then I remembered I have an L85, which is a 6635 Fiat version in the fucking attic.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. So now I'm just going to have to buy an L85 myself. just so. No, I joke. But I got a wee Hugh. I was chatting to Hugh, and it's a Britain's model, and like, let's be honest, it's not a great start. Like, the cab's completely wrong.
Okay.
The only thing is the exhaust placement is right, but it's also a 66335. It's not a 7635. So I was chatting to Hugh, and he says a TM cab would work a bit better, but that's still not completely right, because TM cabs don't open the front window, whereas 7635s open the front window.
Yes.
But like, look, by that stage, he'll probably tell me to go and fuck myself if I'm looking to go that,
Well,
and he is already trying to source me the comfort cab set up for a Fiat, so I can't exactly argue too much. So
yes,
he says he'd do that for me and get me mud guards and stuff like that. He can sort all that out for me, so I just need to get that done.
I'm going to sound like I'm saying away a lot about the one particular diorama.
Yeah, but you were on that one for absolutely ages, and I seen you chatting to James for absolutely ages.
I was. But even like he had, now if I hope I'm getting this correctly, if I'm not he can slap me, but he had a Star trailer model.
He did indeed, yeah.
There was only one of 4 ever made, possibly. Steering axle was on the real one on Russian tyres, which he ended up finding for it through like a specific way. In case he doesn't want me to say what way he found them, I'll just leave it out. But on that thing, I was like, that's very similar looking to Quinn's 13-ton Red Rocks, and he was like, exactly, yes, and I'd love to. I think he said he'd love to possibly make one of them. But I was like, holy fuck, that's the detail that some display. But no, it's one thing saying a lot about James's diorama, but whenever you didn't, like, if I had wanted to spend as much time around them all, I would still be there.
Yeah, 100%.
And like to give everybody a justification for the detail they went into.
And genuinely, like, there was other standout ones was the one that had the Mary on it, and if I went through my videos I'd find it, and he had a lot of old Fords and a lot of old counties and stuff like that there, and he had the mirrors up. He didn't have the mirrors up at the start, but he had the mirrors up at the end of and it makes the whole thing look bigger. There was also at the top end, basically parallel to him at the other side, the whole long one of old school Massey's.
Yes.
And the detail in that, like wet fields and stuff like that, some of the stuff going on there was absolutely insane.
Like, there's another couple of notable things. I didn't take their names down, but there was one, there was a couple of young fellas, and it was remote control tractors.
Yeah, seen that
pulling dung out of a shed. And I was like, how the fuck does the loader hydraulics work, or the wee pistons whatever work? Turned out I've then realised that there was wee motors on the side, and it was like a cogwheel to make it work. And like, doing cultivations in the wee field was fucking deadly.
Yeah, that's right.
And then funny, I took photos of the miniature cane factory.
That's right.
And see actually excuse me, after it, having nosing through photos, it was only really then I took in, like, they had in the sheds with the roofs off them cranes with bits of model trailers on
That's
cranes,
right. Yeah.
and then the colour of fucking steel, and all the various different wee bits and bobs, and then men working on them, and mind blown.
Yeah.
And there was even a model of, Samson and Goliath. That's
Right.
W cranes.
That was class. That was seriously cool as well.
I was just about taller than them.
I suppose the final notable thing for me was, I think we sat and chatted to Gareth Galt for about 2 hours. I'm not joking. Diane, I'm pretty sure is what you call his wife. She was walking around literally she kept seeing us and just was like and Duncan were just going for like laps. And Gareth, it was me, I went along with Connor Kelly and
Well, I had milking to do, which
Johnny
I actually...
Linton, and I went along with them pair and we were standing talking. We'd probably been standing talking to Gareth a good hour and a half before you even arrived.
An hour and a half?
Yeah, we were with him for a lifetime.
You must have got in and just started talking to Gareth.
Same as Ahio, just like, the good old, tilt the head of the eye contact and can't do like the wee eyebrow thing. That's when we were chatting to him then for absolutely ages. And then that's where I got now I'll talk about this in another podcast. It's where I've got a couple of charity ideas out of.
Yes.
So the only people privy to that so far is the tractor pulling group chat. So even though it's not tractor pulling, but and Jeremy Holland, he knows the crack obviously because I kind of need him as a launch pad for it. So
true.
Yeah. So that's a crazy idea coming up now. Oh, and Falvey knows about it too. There's a few people know about it.
Yes.
Falvey says he'll follow me for it. So yeah, so this should be quite cool, but we'll talk about that another time. So look, fairly short intro regarding Moira. We'll not talk about anything else for now. I just really, to be honest, I kind of want to get into the main episode.
Oh no, I will fully agree.
Don't want to repeat ourselves too much on what we've already spoke about at the start when we were trying to capture your attention, but genuinely, like.
We get his humour, his crack, his wittiness.
He fucking interrogates us.
He does.
Interrogates Connor.
And then
I get abused.
You get bit slapped.
Yeah. In this version, the version the people's going to hear, it's only the final punch. Don't hear the no, fucking hit him harder. Fucking hit him harder. Because there's about 2 minutes of him just trying to convince you to punch me harder.
Yeah. And then, to be honest with you, for a good while, we go very deep.
Yeah.
And
we sit in awe of some of the stuff the man's done.
Yeah.
Like, very, very well connected, very, very well thought of. Just a general, all around header, but great guy. So without further ado, really, introduce this week's guest, Peter Falvey. There's days I'm not awkward at all, and days I do get awkward. I've no idea why.
Hey lad, there's days when I'm just not a people person. I have them days. I'm like just in my own little bubble, do my own little thing. Yeah, but that's kind of me. Like 24/7.
So you're not a people person 24/7?
No, it's not even that. I am a people person, but if Jim Bob was over there, absolutely hacking the head off his neighbour, and then his neighbour's wife is fucking banging the brains out of fucking Postman Pat, I don't give a shit. I will go about my business.
I think that's just an Irish thing. Just say nothing.
Oh no, people do get right seriously engrossed in other people's shit. I couldn't give a fuck.
We're Irish, we're nosy.
Really?
But at the same time, you wouldn't tell any. Well, okay, you wouldn't tell the cops someone's business. Maybe is that a better way of saying it? You'll tell everybody else.
Yeah, but you ring your buddy and say, hey. Like, I've got one friend there, and they'd ring me and would be like, chatting away, this and that. Next thing, the minute they say, did you see such a... Hey, I gotta go. See you later. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. You know, that kind of way. I'm going to be in my own little bubble, do my own little thing. Call me a space cadet if you want, but that's just me, like. So...
It's good enough. So the voice you're hearing there, if you haven't already guessed, is Peter Falvey of Bad Company.
Yeah, that's me, right?
So we've, well, to be fair, you're a guest we've wanted on for quite some time. We'll massage, we'll massage your ego a wee bit here. We'll give you a wee tasty touch here.
Deeper, that's the one.
And because
I've only met you for half an hour. You're the most dirty-minded bastard I've ever met.
One finger.
Oh, looking forward to getting
Get
the whole
second one out.
I was looking forward to getting the whole fist up there. We'll work on that.
What have you heard?
You trying to calve him or something?
Get out the jack.
But anyway, yeah, back to what we're saying. You are someone from, you came in kind of in the radar. You were someone we were always kind of like, look, this man would be an absolute header to have in the podcast. And then anyone who we spoke to about bringing you on also said you'd be an absolute header. And then whenever...
Who all did we speak to that said this?
Like so Jeremy Holmes,
That's right,
Gareth
yes.
Gold,
Hey,
you know.
right, you're right. Jeremy, right, what a guy.
Yes.
Right, what a fucking guy.
Yes.
Right? He's such a happy fella, madman. Gareth, fucking gentleman. Absolute gent. I love Gareth to bits. He's 100%.
Just really
Gareth,
nice guy.
and I would have it said, Gareth helped me a lot. Being a smaller type of, I'll never say a businessman, I'm not a businessman, but being a smaller kind of fella, to see Gareth saying, hey, you need something, no problem.
Yeah.
I really, really respect that. Like,
to be fair, very much one of them people where the fame hasn't went to the head.
100%.
He like turned around and said to me at the Moira model show, like offered me his tractor. He's like, take my tractor. And I was like, no. And not disrespect to Gareth, just because I couldn't trust myself with something. Like, I'm used to driving at 22 mile an hour in a tractor. Like, I go with something that can do 60. It's kind of like...
Well, he left me drive his dice.
Really?
Yeah, I drove it at the plough match.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Duncan's Sweet Outs.
Yeah, Donkey's Sweet Outs, yeah.
That thing is class.
I drove it at the plough, not just around the plot. We're loading stuff up. And I actually drove one of them. Back in my very early years of my silage career, right? First load I ever drew in a 390 Massey.
Oh.
Yeah, right. Lovely little 4-wheel drive. Right, didn't mean to hit the dicky there, but and second machine was a 630 Dites, 91 kk, and the lad I drove it for, he bought it brand new, and that's why when I seen Garrett's one, I was like, you don't realise
Pure nostalgia.
this thing holds a little piece of me, like, you know, this thing is cool.
So was it farming before the lorries then?
No. We'd have land at home. The old pair and the sister would be very much horsey people.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The mother would be a farming background.
Yes.
So we do have tractors and stuff at home. Massey.
Where is home though?
Kilkenny. Down in South Kilkenny. Sunny southeast.
Why does everybody think you're from Cork? Including me. I thought you were from Cork.
I don't know why. But I have this thing where I'll hang with G-Boys, next thing I'll go out the door, I'll sound like I came from Derry.
I do that.
I would do that as well.
You know what I mean? And the worst time you can actually click into that is when you spend some time in Kerry. Because if you're an outsider,
sounding like that.
you know what I mean? You know, like when
Just
you're an
completely
outsider,
inaudible.
yeah, and you're kind of picking up on a Kerry accent, you sound constipated. Like.
Everybody's just walking about like Michael Healy Ray.
Everyone's looking at you, going, "Is he in pain?" And you're like,
The only thing I'm not good at accents. I wish I was good at accents. There's one thing I wish I could do.
I
really
wish
well.
I didn't pick up on him.
No, the thing is,
I don't mean to.
Like I did a week in Waterford and I was like, oh yeah.
You go for blah. You know what I mean?
I only found out recently what the Waterford Blah was. I didn't realise that it was this massive big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
The blah.
If you're from Waterford anyway, apparently it's this massive...
If you're from Waterford, you're a blah.
Yeah.
Now, that would, to give more of an insight at home, right? The little village where I was brought up, Tipperary was 4 kilometres away. Mm-hmm. Waterford was 3 kilometres the other side of the border. So that's how I have, like, thick skin. You know what I mean? Literally, you cross the bridge, you're in Waterford. We were in South Kilkenny, and Tipperary, which was Carrick-on-Shore, was on the other side.
Would you be near Mooncoin?
Yeah, I went to school in Mooncoin.
Ah.
Yeah.
We stayed there
for a couple of wet days now. My education, and I don't need to hide this, I had very little education. Very little. I don't even try and pretend I'm intelligent. Unless I build it.
I don't think you have to go to school to be intelligent. And honestly, like, you know, we were concreting there on Saturday, and I was out.
I was not. He was.
I was out helping my uncle and my cousin's husband, and their wee boy was there. And he said something, the cousin's husband said to the wee boy, he's like, he goes, you know, if you stay in school, you know, you'll not end up having to do this like daddy. And I turned around and goes, well, funny, I did stay in school and I'm still here standing like a stupid prick shoveling concrete. It's like, so the reality is, called whatever way you're fucked.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah, but see, you can put your education to certain things, or you can just be a man that was raised in the country. Not to be dividing people, but, you know, a countryman will be a countryman, whether he's educated or he's not.
You know, like, you can be from the country and you could end up making a bit of money and buying a recovery lorry.
Correct.
And you just, because you're from the country and you've hard graft in your veins, you'll just know, okay, fuck, I have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to recover this, man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, there's no question.
No question.
It just is. And like, yes, you might not have any formal educational background, but you still know how to make money.
Yeah.
So, you know, and at the end of the day, we need money to eat.
Typically, the ones that make the most don't go to school much.
Correct.
Because, and I'll tell you why.
Are they bigger risk takers?
Yes. 100%. That is it.
Yeah. I'm always told that at home. Out of a family of 5, right, I'd be the lad that wouldn't even cross my mind. Obviously, I could go to the shop and come back 3 days later because I just go and do. You know what I mean? I just take the risk. I ain't going to worry about nothing. I ain't going to worry about it. Like, if I say I'm going to go over there, I'm not going to think, but what if I have to try and get around that? That doesn't come into my head. It's just, I'm going there.
I wish I was like that.
Yeah, I'm very much.
I wish I was like that.
Like, as we seen on the recent tour, and any of the challenges that we did, that Bad Company did, it was a kind of thing of just, we're going. That's just the way it is.
We think too much, maybe, as well educated.
I wouldn't even think about it.
I know whenever I jump in my car, like, you know, and say, like, even, well, I'm going to say throw her sideways, that one of mine gives me too much fucking hassle to do that. But even back in the days, like, you know, it would take me a while if I was going sliding or whatever. Different in a silage field. But, like, if you were going sliding in track, you know, you wouldn't be thinking, I'd be thinking, fuck, if I miss this and I hit the wall, like, I'll do the quarter panel, that's going to cost me XYZ amount of money, blah, blah, blah. Whereas you get other boys who wouldn't even think, they're just thinking, I'm going for that fucking wall and I'm going to see how close I can get to it. That's you probably, yeah.
That's just boot to the headlight, let's go, we've got fuck all to lose. Just go for it.
I see this is the thing, like, I'm just like, well, if I hit that, I'm out this money and that.
No. You just have to go for it.
But I worked in the quarrying industry.
You'll turn yourself off by going out and doing something exciting. You've turned yourself off.
That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
I don't like that. No.
So what
says the man that has to work all the time because I just get myself in trouble if I'm not. Boredom cuts in.
So, like, whenever you're saying, like, turning, like, are you saying, like, if I'm going out there and I'm trying to, like, if I'm going to throw a car sideways, you're thinking I'm worrying too much? Is that
worrying too much? Oh, but let's 100%. Think about it. You go to a track day.
Yes.
Right? You want to go on the track.
Yes.
You want to go, whether it's good or bad, you want to go and have the experience.
100%, yeah.
Right? Because you go out on day dot, you think to yourself, oh, jeez, I did fucking terrible. Who gives a shit? The ball is rolling. The next day you go down, you're going to say, right, this corner I fucked up last time. This time around, we're going to nail this corner. And you are pushing yourself forward, whether you know it or not. Mm-hmm. You're actually prepping yourself, but you still have to start off with a blank canvas. Not say, shit, right, face that bend, right, there's a big wall there. The wall is going to be there the next time round and the next time round. Mm-hmm. Either you're going to conquer it or it's going to conquer you.
Yeah.
Correct.
I would be my own worst enemy, like, there's no two ways about it. I would be hypercritical of myself, like.
No, you're very confident men, like. And I said this across. I said this, you've got it. Like, you just need to bad boy that shit up, like. You need to pass that wall going like this.
You know what, maybe in my head it would say Mandela at the weekend here, I'll be coming around the corner thinking just that, just the first.
Falvey's in the back of my head.
Yeah, just going to the hairpin bend.
And everyone going, geez, your man from Limerick's Dip Difference has threats. Was that at the flag, man?
I'm pretty sure he's getting yellow flag for that now.
Why was he just told to come in out of it?
Michael, next year, can I get press access.
Yeah, but this shit, that's the way to do it.
I genuinely do wish I could give less of a fuck. And that is...
I'm going to fucking work on you. And
See,
you.
to be fair, right, so
sounds good
he
to
finally
me.
got the car back, and more or less, right?
Now, before you get into it, right, I enjoyed looking at that Sierra. That's a nice build.
Thank you.
That's a nice build. I like it. Sorry, continue.
So Michael eventually got the car back, and he had it in the trailer and got it off the trailer, and myself and Michael's work colleague was there as well, and we're sort of like, right, you have it off, you've a set of burners on, just go on a bit of crack, I don't know, and see as soon as you've done it once,
Yeah.
then I came back in, and I would say the dopamine was just flooding
Oh,
off,
the eyes were lit up like a shade, like.
Yeah.
and then it was like, well, we moved back up out of the way, give you more space. Oh, I don't know, just do it again.
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 more times he done it, and he came back and his hands were like this.
Yeah.
But I was like, all the money spent, all the time, effort, all the hardship
Yeah.
is totally worth it now.
100%. 100%.
I think it's just, as I say, I would be that worried. And that's, well, look, we'll get on to this, I suppose, with you and the whole naming a bad company and all that. I would be one of them people that I'd be so shit feared of people saying, like, look at that Michael Scullen, he went out to the fucking track and the car broke down, like, what a dickhead. But people are going to do that anyway, regardless. But
If you went out and saved a school bus of kids, people are going to talk. If you go out into the main road, drop your trousers and wave your willy at traffic, people are going to talk.
Yeah.
Whether you do good or bad.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why, and even you might not have seen it on the back of the Rascal, right? Now, the Rascal, it's a dinky. It's no bigger than a fucking clothes bank, right? On the back of it is, never afraid of failure, but I'm terrified to say I never tried.
That is an incredible quote.
And you know what? On that, let's just use the trip for example. If I only made it 20 mile out of Donegal, I tried. It doesn't matter to me if X, Y, or Z, or Billy Bob or Billy Big Balls are saying you didn't do it. I tried. You want to go fucking try it? You want to talk? Go try it.
Funny,
You know, it's the same way with you with the bills. It's the same way with you with the cars. You don't hold it against yourself. You're trying.
funny you say about that, and we talked about literally Garth Gult, literally. He posted a thing in his own Facebook there recently, and I was very surprised that a man of his calibre would have posted this, because I was like, he's probably at the levels where he no longer really cares, he's well established. But he put up this thing recently, and it was like, people who will talk about what you do, and it was like this massive crowd is like people who talk about doing something, and it was a smaller crowd, and it was like people who actually do something, and it was like one person.
100%.
And I guess that literally is the whole mental. Is people are going to.
Yeah, that's why I admire Garrett's mindset.
I was so surprised because
I was actually in touch with him because obviously been up this area just to fucking drop in and what's the crack like.
Well, I genuinely sent him a message after, because I was like, "Are you all right?" Because I just thought it was a character.
No,
I was like, look, I was like, "You okay?" Like, I guess I was kind of like, you know what? It kind of humanises things, because I was like, a man of his calibre and like what he's achieved, and still has them kind of,
He's human.
Yeah,
we're all only human. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting across from you saying, you shouldn't think like this. You're wrong. I'm never going to say that to nobody. Like, I am not a preacher. I'm not a hypocrite. I just have my own little mindset where it's glass is full. Everyone will give you a talk of the glass is half full. It can go this way or it can go this way. No, missus, it's fucking full. It is, go for it, try it. Do not turn yourself off it. If you try and you fail, you get up, you try again. I have failed tons of times through life, finances, loads. I have failed. I got up. You get up. I'm not going to sit here and talk like a
motivational speakers.
I'm not that.
Yeah.
But I still crack on and live away. I'm not holding it against myself.
Was there something then, Peter, that turned on you to make you a trier? Or were you always a trier?
Yeah. No, I was always a nutty professor. I was always kind of tinkering.
Cannon.
Yeah, I was always tinkering at something and trying to. But yeah, no, if I had turned back the clock a few years, we wouldn't have had this mindset. And that's why I don't come at you that you're wrong, because I actually know both sides of the fence. you know, and it was a thing that I done by myself. That's actually where the social media grew from, and why we do so much for charity.
Yes.
Like every year, every time we support local tractor runs, we've travelled the length and breadth of the country supporting others, which we will always continue to do. But every year, Bad Company did its own thing, just because it was a promise from darker times that I made myself behind closed doors, because I was struggling with life.
Yep.
And I was like, do you know what? You made a goofy Snapchat today. You got 10 people message you saying, do you know what? That fucking made my day.
Yep.
Well, during the dark time, or was there anything that's close to your heart that's caused like you to want, like, is there any particular like charities or that you do these events for that's close to heart, that through your tough time, that
No. The first one I did was for Pieta House, which is suicide awareness, right? Because being trapped in your own dark thoughts is terrifying. Right? Is not where I want anyone to ever be alone.
No.
And it's
agree.
not a nice place to be.
No, it's not.
And we can all relate. We have lost
Unfortunately, yeah.
people. Yeah. And even to the fact, and I will always remember this, and I'm just going to give a brief end of it, because obviously there's family members and stuff, but I had literally got the big rut of life just mellowed, right? I had bought the big cool, and I was like, let's launch at the world here now. 3 days later, a young man committed suicide in front of me. There was one truck in front of me. I was the truck behind him giving out because he was slow. I literally looked down the radio, changed up a song, looked forward, and the lorry was going over, and the Golf was gone. The Golf hit him so hard on the driver's side, it launched him over, turned over the lorry and trailer, and ended up inside of him. No, and the lorry didn't. He was actually travelling that hard when he came around the corner. As the cops and stuff looked into it, it was suicide. And I jumped out my lorry, ran for the car, and I just look. I'm a square kind of lad. I couldn't get in, and even they said to me after, "Look, you couldn't have saved him."
I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was this before the dark time?
No,
this was just
literally
coming
just after.
out of it. I was just coming out of my own. I was being my own worst enemy. I was battling a lot of depression. I was a very, very paranoid person. I like at the time, but it's a mix. You know what I mean? It's one of those things I won't deny that. And just getting myself sorted out, much more positive, like that, behind closed doors, making myself stronger, giving myself a pep talk, facing the world. Let's go. Let's keep at this. You know, trying to be as positive as I could, and it was working. It was working for me. I never put my hand out for help, which is why I build projects for those people who don't want to talk.
Yes.
Because I know what that feels like.
Yes.
You know, so that's why I let the build do the talking. For those, and even actually a man said that to me. But getting back to it, 3 days
It's very
after,
commendable, to be fair.
Fucking
It's
scary.
very commendable to be able to be in a dark time and to be able to sort of talk yourself around and put yourself, because there's not very many people out
A lot
there
of people
that's
can't
got
do
to,
that.
you know,
Unfortunately.
yeah,
it's like you're in a windy road and you're trying to find the motorway.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and there's humps and hollows. But another thing, and this might, and I was actually telling myself this, and I actually gave a lot of due to my cousin, not to Moss, on the other side,
Yes.
Oliver, is I remember one real bad day where I was just like, I just you know, I can't deal with work, and he was like, you won't give up on me that easy, and I was like, do you know what, I won't.
But that's even the way he put it to you.
Yeah.
He made it your choice, in a way.
That's all he said to me.
Yeah.
And he just left it at that.
Yeah.
You're not going to give up on me that easy.
Yeah.
Like, I know it wasn't that, and I wasn't speaking of that bad. It was just a day, I was like, no. I
Just
can't.
one of them days.
Yeah, just one of them days.
You must definitely be a people person then, for there's some people who, when they see people in that, can be harsh or can speak their mind, in different ways.
Yeah.
And put it in that sort of way is totally the best way, and it's funny.
Yeah,
Somebody
and that's
could say the
why
wrong
even across through social media, you'd see on Snapchat every couple of weeks, you'd feel it. You just want to put out a message to people. It's okay. It's okay. I know things might not be going your way. At this moment in time, things ain't exactly fucking rosy. But one thing, and I do tell myself this, I did tell myself this at the time, and I still do to this day, sun doesn't shine every day. The sun does not shine every day. But life doesn't stop.
I think if you accept that.
But life doesn't stop.
Yes.
Even though the sun's not shining, life don't stop.
No, you could have 99 good days, but you're always going to have one bad.
But let the rain come. Let the rain come and go. It's like when I go in home, they'd say, just it's winter time now, and we'll see through to the next one. Mm-hmm. It's like every season, they're going to come and go. It's like every bad day, it's like every dark day. It'll come, it'll go. Once you're strong enough to see through to the brighter day and see through the dark day, well, you're getting stronger. Yeah, and you are getting stronger, you know what I mean? But people also need to give themselves credit for it. And I argue this with a lot of people. People say to me, you said such and such there, and I'm like, hold on a second. You don't need to thank me. We're friends. You made the choice to say, hang on a second. Yeah, let's go to bed, start again tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Which is something I've never actually gone to bed to get another run at it.
Well, is it through, whenever you came through the tough time, and obviously you had that incident, was it after that Bad Company came about, or what way did Bad Company come about, or
we
how?
can get into that, because I want to actually go back further.
Oh, okay. Shit.
I want to go back further.
You're trying to ruin the interview here, bitch.
This is deep, boys.
I was like, because I want to kind of go back, because we are going to be talking about Bad Company for the majority of this podcast. But Bad Company has obviously started out of a few things, and you'll tell a version of that story.
Yeah, of course.
When we get into it. But how you said, when you were younger, you were always tinkering about with stuff.
Yeah.
I know from previous experience.
What's he heard?
Oh, what have you been doing?
Talk about saying the wrong words.
What did you stick in the wrong place? Or was it the right
Essentially, you said you've been tinkering at things whenever you were younger.
Yeah.
But what were you tinkering at?
Myself.
I knew that was going.
So I was a late bloomer.
So other than tinkering at yourself, were you tinkering at anything else?
Yeah.
The neighbour?
No. Maybe the neighbour's dog. Shit, I shouldn't admit that. Anyway, that's lowering the tone, sorry.
The bar wasn't high to begin with.
What? I don't remember that perverted stage.
So
fake taxi. Go on.
Tell you a story about that off air.
If they don't open my emails, I'm going to buy my own. Simple. And that's the law. Yeah. You're going to see the Bad Company fake taxi. Now it might be a budget one. Okay. It might be like
Are they not fairly budget as it is?
No, I meant like a Fiat Diablo or something.
Could you not? You know what? We're going to come back to this point.
Yeah.
We're going to come back
what
to
you
this
were
point.
saying. Go on.
No, so you obviously you're very obviously you're a lorry man, but you're obviously very mechanically inclined.
Yeah. We were. My old man was a car dealer. He still is a car dealer.
Yes, okay.
He's retired now, but he's tipping away and
new stuff or second-hand stuff, or what type of vehicles?
New and second-hand.
Oh right, any make or model or any make sort of thing?
He'd kind of go, if you went to him, I want a new Mondeo, he'll go get you a new Mondeo.
Yes.
Oh, right, yeah.
I want a new Corolla, he'll get you a new Corolla.
Did he have?
He was main dealer. He was actually an Isuzu man. Isuzu Troopers. Yeah, Super Troopers.
Unreal.
Yeah,
that's what we had.
And a Toyota dealer as well. We actually have a collection of his
Toyotas. He bound to do well then.
Yeah.
Toyotas, because everybody had
he
one.
was a Toyota man. I'm a Ford man. I love Henry Ford stuff, and all I own in Ford is the tractors. Now that's like just the 2000, 3000, and
2000s are very hard got. Very hard got.
Yeah, 3-speed 2000.
Yes,
good condition. 3000 is a little bit she could do with a tip up, but she has a 3.6 engine because she went porous.
Like them all.
Yeah,
like them all.
Yeah, but there is a remedy for it now. Supposedly, it's a mixture in the water to stop them. Right? Supposedly, no, I've never tried it.
If not far from here, about 3 mile, there's a club listens to the podcast. It's a fella who made that engine table. Him and his dad have a collection of. They have a 1000, a 2000, a 3000, a 4000, and a V8 4000.
Nice.
Yeah, it's class.
They've got money. They've got money sitting right there.
Working men.
No, but I mean, they've got money in the bank. They have money in the bank.
Yeah.
That's collector stuff.
They're absolute wizards.
Isn't the 1000 one funky little thing?
I think his is a Japanese import.
It's a vineyard tractor.
I don't think I've ever seen something like that before.
But you know who I'm on about, James Duffin.
Oh, I do, surely. I used to sit beside him in biology class.
So James,
and what did you learn in biology?
Fuck all. He actually did really well in biology.
You're letting me down here. You came across as such an intelligent man right there. Who the fuck says biology in a fucking podcast?
Me?
That's what I mean. I was shocked. I thought you were intelligent.
No.
Come on now, knock me back here. Come on, let's go.
Fuck you.
Come on now. Yeah, let's get this. We're going to get him furred up. You're going to have such a bad attitude by the end of this.
Wow.
You're going to kick out that shed door.
It's really broke.
See you tomorrow.
I don't think
no purpose behind it.
You've maybe guessed Connor's quite level, quite a smooth operator. Doesn't
but I
really.
like he's getting revved up here.
Am I?
Yeah.
Maybe you can see it in your eyes.
Yeah. There's a bit of fire starting. Yeah.
We'll get there.
Sounds kind of kinky.
he has the full fleet. No, he doesn't have a 5,000 or 7,000 because they're just unattainable at this point with the
My
prices.
uncle has a 5.
They're class.
Yeah.
The 7s are unreal as well.
Serious tractor.
Love them.
There is actually the chairman of the Ford Owners Club, which would be Tony Doyle, in Moira in Cork.
Right.
He has a 1, 2, and 9.
Huh?
You getting 9,000?
A 9.
Is she an American import or something?
American import. She's the 2 little wheels on the inside.
Row crop?
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
That'd be a scary bastard to
a
drive.
cropper, as the Americans would call him, a cropper. Yeah.
That'd be a scary bastard to drive.
Yeah. He actually has the whole from 1 to 9 sat at home because they actually got his tractors in on the. They have a Mall market and they were on display.
The Ford show?
Through the Mall, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
That's Tony Doyle.
Much horsepower would a 9,000 have then?
Jeez, I couldn't tell you.
I have no idea.
I have no idea, genuinely.
What's the 7? Is a 790 horsepower?
Either 95 or 105.
Yeah.
I think it's 95.
So we ballpark figure 135.
Aye, probably.
Of a 9,000?
Which back in the late 60s, early 70s
would have been a fucking
been a big enough
with
tractor
the
at
balance
time.
of a fucking Reliant Robin.
Yeah, it's a scary vehicle when you think about it.
It is.
But you know, back to you're saying the father. Were you and did your dad do his own mechanicing and all too, or did he have? Did he have you running about doing it?
Yeah, he was a mechanic in a way. We had a full time mechanic as well, and believe it or not, I actually to this day give that man massive credit because of the things he taught me.
Oh, 100%. I would expect
he
that.
was one of them all time boys.
He could have made anything with anything.
Yeah, made anything with bits and pieces and got stuff working and taught me a hell of a lot. And I was young then, and I was like, I remember finishing school and everything, and I actually started my trade as a heavy goods mechanic.
Okay.
Yeah, I was with a company and they closed their doors in my second year.
Okay.
Would he have been type of man, instead of telling you the right way to do it, he would have told you the way to do it?
The way to do it. Yes, Davey would have told me how it had to be done.
Yeah.
Like, no, he'd make a cunty too. Like, he'd send you off in the wrong direction for something, but he was one of these all-time boys, that's how it happens. You know what I mean? And you could ring him up and say, I am looking in to whatever here, and this, right? If you go to the left side of that, look at this, open that, twist that, she'll start. He was that type of man.
Just pure knowledge.
Knew them inside and out.
Yeah, and I really, really admire the old schoolers.
So whenever
I'm very old school still, like.
Well, yeah.
I have no interest in new stuff.
Even the fact that I pulled up when you landed up in the lorry, and I was like, "Is this manual?" And you were like, "Oh yeah."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
manual all
yeah.
the way, lads.
Because I seen 01G and I was like,
yeah,
right, this is an older lorry. This could be a manual.
How many miles is on it, or kilometres?
We plugged that in that 01 2 Novembers ago. This will be the third. This is the third November, and it was 2.7 million on her. Mm-hmm. So she's
miles or kilometres?
Kilometres. So she's over the 3 million now. And I have been asked several times, "Are you gonna step out with that?" Nope.
Oh, you were saying that earlier.
Up in Lurgan Town, knickers down, up and down, lad. No bother. I'll stay going at that 01 once I have a gear handle inside her. it's a manual, and that's how I learned. That's how it was.
There's less to go wrong.
It's
Literally, you were saying that earlier.
Forward, engine, box, back axle. It's just the way forward, and new shit nowadays needs to go back to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh, of course.
No more of this fucking plug-in bullshit. Basic. You know, it gets further. Like a Polaris tractor.
Like,
Except everything else fell off it.
literally there last night, watching on YouTube, a video come up on like the latest Civic Type R, and they were must have been crashed or something. They repaired it, and they went through 7 diagnostics computers just to try and find something that would read the latest diagnostics off of it, and it wouldn't even read it.
Yeah.
And then they had to go into wiring diagrams, and I
Download
turned it off
software.
then because fuck that, dong.
Yeah. Because you have to download the software to match the model to try and get diagnosed with the problem.
You needed to be a rocket scientist to even
Oh, 100%.
understand the wiring diagrams.
And no extra horsepower.
Yeah.
That's the part that sickens me about new stuff. If you want to get that advanced in technology, right, at least put horsepower behind it. You know what I mean? If you've got, for instance, a Type R, right, and it's going to be big horsepower and it has to be brought to Honda to get it done, it's understandable. But not a fucking 1.6 basic car that's running on the same diagnostic stuff and it's thrown up all the same faults. That I don't believe in.
It's just, look, it's a lot of the, you say about adding the extra power, like you look at the lorries, like, I know you can take out the DPFs, or I'm not sure if lorries have any of that stuff or what they qualify to, but like, you know, like, everything's, yes, you've a bigger, more efficient engine or whatever now, but everything's tuned down because of
Correct.
Emissions.
because of emissions, which is kind of like the killer.
And then you Bluetooth or fucking AdBlue.
AdBlue.
Yeah.
Yes.
She don't have that.
Like-
Big Cool don't have that.
Yeah.
And allegedly, as soon as everything comes out of warranty, it's all deleted off it.
Correct.
Because realistically, there's a lot of markets out there in the world where emissions aren't as, you know, nobody cares as much.
Yeah.
And them things, you know, tractors from here that are like obviously not as attainable and they're half scrap go to all our countries of lower income and export, and they're still using them.
Yeah. I seen a 96 Transit heading for Dublin Port the other day with a coloured man driving it. I was trying to get his attention to buy it off him to stop it. A smiley face Transit.
I love smiley face
A
transits.
smiley face Transit. And here was this coloured man happy out going up the M50, and I was like, stop him. Somebody stop him. Like, you know what I mean? And like you said, there's that Transit going well, like all our tractors. You know what I mean? But now it's all plug-in.
And that's the reason why, like, if you like a modern day tractor, the only reason it's so expensive is it's like the SCR technology for the AdBlue is costing the manufacturer so much money to make it to suit emissions, and they're just passing that cost on to the farmer.
Yeah.
So that's why instead of being like, I think I seen an old brochure and say it was a New Holland TM. I think a 190 was say like 50 grand. The equivalent tractor now is 200 grand.
Yep.
And all because of emissions,
Yep.
Yeah. Like,
pretty much.
and like, it's like the Audis, say the Audis, like an Audi Q5, if the AdBlue goes in it, because where they have the AdBlue like control modules in behind like the passenger wheel arch or something, and it's set up in a way that it just ends up getting water splashed all around it, and you have to replace that, it's £800, or it's like £30, you get it deleted out.
Yeah, I got my Audi mapped. Now she's not AdBlue, she's 12, but
Right.
she's the DPF, and that's that's gone.
Yeah, my Amarok.
Yeah.
After my Amarok bought her 47,000 mile on her, at 49,000 mile DPF light came on. I went,
But here's another way to look at it, right? What about the day when there was none of this massive honeycomb stuff and these DPFs and AdBlue and adjectives and download programs to kill your admissions? Everything ran smoother. It did.
DPS make everything run very hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then they start to burn it off. Like new Scanias and Mercedes and all that. Like, yeah, regenerating. That's the word. Like, did you hear a new Mercedes truck go into regenerating? It sounds like a spin cycle on a washing machine.
Seriously?
It starts doing this thing. And you're like, what is wrong with this thing?
And then they say if they do too many regens, it's bad for them. And it's like, well, what are you supposed to do?
You're fucked if you do, and you're fucked if you don't.
To be fair,
Cut the side out of it, take it out of it, weld it back on. Done.
That's the way my Amarok's done.
Yeah, get out, get rid of it, done.
like when I was in England in 17, the class 650 that was being used, I'm near sure had a DPF in it.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever it was regenning, it sounded like a straight pipe tractor.
No way.
You know, for whatever.
Just blow it out.
Either it was
Because
bypass. I'm not
no,
exactly
but
sure.
when it ignites to regen, it's meant to be a shocking heat. Like.
Yeah, it is. Seriously,
It's meant to be shocking.
My Amarok was reaching serious oil. Like, if you look at the oil temperature, like whenever you would hear, or like you'd see, or you were in a regen mode, like you'd look to the oil temperature and it was like 115, 117, 118 degrees. And like now it doesn't really go above 106, which in my opinion is still too warm, but that's a modern vehicle for you.
Yeah.
You know, them temperatures, you think about it, like, and that along with stupid fucking start-stop technology, that's the worst thing you can do. Turn a vehicle off, it turns back on, and you race off at the lights.
Because when you start it up, it's regenerated up more, it's thrown out more fucking emissions. Greta Dumbledore's getting fucking damp, right? And all these fucking tree huggers are going mad. Mm-hmm. Leave it running. Mm-hmm. Not all the time. But
in fact, I think the most economical thing you can do is actually just keep the older vehicles on the road.
Yes,
Surely.
100% agree. This man for president.
Like,
this man for
think about
president.
it. Like, you know, like if you
Green diesel. Well, it's red up here, but green diesel, all the way.
Aye.
Greener is cleaner.
Go green.
Yeah, go green.
Go green.
I actually got a picture recently with see, I don't even bother me arse with what's that word? It's an intelligent word. Canvassing.
Oh, okay.
Right? And all these fucking
Canvas is what you do for politicians,
politicians.
isn't it? Okay.
That's what he was. He was a local politician and he wanted to get his picture taken with me.
Wasn't Andy Maloney, was it?
No, Matty McGrath.
Okay.
Right? And I did. He met me. Right? Now, he could be my friend because I don't have any friends. So he could be my friend.
Okay.
But he wanted to get a picture with me. And I was like, that's brilliant. The caption in this one is green diesel should be legalised. he's my kind of man. Yeah. He's a countryman. He actually went on the following tractor run in his fast track.
Fair play.
Yeah.
But you want a politician like that. I know I don't really like getting into politics or whatever, but you want someone who's actually fucking
deal
real.
with him. I can't deal with him. Because either way, you're going to put some educated moron. Sorry, I should have said that. But you're going to put some educated doofus in charge of something. You need to get a working man.
Yes, completely agree.
You need to get a man, right, that has gone through life knowing what the Wednesday pinch is. You know, when you're trying to get fags, fuel, a little bit of grub, and you're not paid till tomorrow. That feeling, you know, if you can put that in a man and put that man in power, that man knows what that feeling is.
But I think a lot of, like, you like to take the likes of even like Michael Healy-Rae there. Now, the Healy-Raes are very, very wealthy.
Correct.
But they are still inherently working people.
Yeah.
They own a plant hire business and all the likes of that. People look at them and sort of nearly, I think, look down on them.
But they're still working men, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. No, but that's what I mean, because they are working men.
This man, Matty be a lot like them.
Yeah. Like, it's like, oh, country bumpkins. You've just got all the boys from D4.
Hang on, and I try and get it up. Because, like I said, I don't do politics. But this fella, where is he? He was actually the fella that's trying to be in the Green Party. Mm-hmm. It won't load now.
Yeah, so I don't hear shit.
Yeah, but he was trying to be the Green Party. He was like, electric bikes and all this bullshit. So I had to go and get my picture taken with him at the plough match. I was like, most definitely. I am the most green diesel approved man. I had another word. That's the fellow who was in Dublin, wanking about the fucking electric bicycles.
I don't follow politics enough. But I know, but do you know who?
Is this not the same fella who said that your rural towns should have... Is this not the same fella who said that rural towns should have, like, shared cars?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a thunderdose.
Yeah, he is a real dose of scour now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I got a picture with him.
Just because?
Because I know him. I don't have any friends. I have to try and gather them. Even if they are hated by other people, I'll still be your friend. You know what I mean? So,
Can we be your friend?
really? Like real friends?
Aye.
Do you mean it?
I thought that's why he was here.
Do you want to be your friend?
I never had friends before. I didn't.
Now you do.
Yeah, I don't know.
Then you
why
can change to friendly
This is a
company.
wholesome podcast.
It is. I think we're going quite well. We're doing it. Like,
We're doing it. We're for fun.
Yeah.
But-
we're knocking it out there.
And there we go.
Go on.
No, I was going to say, so back to the mechanic and
Sorry, yeah, I have to do. Yeah, I keep losing track.
equally else is bad. Like back to the whole mechanicing thing. Like you said, you wanted to be a HGV mechanic. Mm-hmm. Is this just because you always liked lorries? Were you inspired by someone? Like what was the crack
My
there?
grandfather and my uncle had timber lorries.
That's a big thing in Tipperary.
Timber, yeah.
I didn't realise that until like 4 years ago, the first time ever been in Tipperary. And we were doing this charity run there's a charity up here called Aware NA, and then there's also PIPS, suicide, mental health and suicide charities. And we did like a Top Gear sort of style race from 3 points in the north, and we all
did?
met. Me and my cousin were one of the cars, and we did like a Top Gear
What did you drive?
style. He was in just a 420D BM. Oh, it wasn't anything like
The challenge was
the challenge we were taking it. We were doing more like a kind of like a piss take documentary kind of thing, like Top Gear style challenge.
I think I came across this.
You maybe did.
I think I came
That's-
across
that's-
that. I
that's-
think I did.
there's no challenges and all to do in the way.
Yeah, like we did challenges and all in the middle of it, like stupid shit. Like one of the like you had to randomly find a GAA pitch and kick a ball over the bar. Like you had to go and pet a dog. Like stupid shit like that. But we started from 3 different points in the north and ended up in Crookhaven.
Right.
The key rule was we weren't allowed to drive motorways or dual carriageways.
I like it.
So you had to do B roads and A roads.
I like it.
And I came through Tipperary and I was like, holy shit. There's all these like timber lorries and trees and like forestry vehicles, and I'd never seen anything really like that
Yeah,
before.
it's a scarce thing up here.
Yeah, there's
It
none.
is.
There's one place out.
Balgas is massive up this side.
The what?
Balgas.
Yes, the timber.
Yeah, timber game. That I think they're the biggest mill in Northern Ireland. Balgas, they would be.
No idea.
But JP
They're-
Corey's, are they timber?
Yeah, but they're down in Enniskillen. That's
Right,
you know what I mean.
okay.
There's a fair distance from here too.
Yeah,
like.
yeah, it would be.
No, but there'd be a good scatter of it down in the south now.
It's not something I really knew anything about, but I was amazed. Like we were driving through all these wee small rural towns, and like literally just lorries with timber on the side of the road, like even
Yeah.
proper full logs.
Yeah.
Something I'd never seen.
Yeah,
this
but
was
see,
class.
when you go down then to Fermoy, is one of the biggest commercial sawmills in the south, which is Glennon Brothers.
Okay.
So that's why you would see him in that area. Then you have Medite, which is chipboard supplier in Clonmel,
Okay.
Tipperary,
Yep,
which is
Sorrentip.
a huge plant.
Yeah.
Then you have OSB in Waterford, which is SmartPlay.
Okay.
Yeah, another massive wood chip plant.
It's not the three of them, like Fermoy, Clonmel, they're not far from each other.
They're an hour and a half from one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of industry in that area.
Yeah, 100%.
I just was amazed because I'd never seen anything like it before.
But like, look at West Cork. West Cork is huge for timber.
It's just huge in general.
Yeah.
Cork's huge.
I like West Cork.
Oh, the people are great.
They're crack.
We were saying this, West Cork people, and I think West Cork people are more like Kerry people. They're maybe that's an insult, but to me as a Nordy, like
I like them. I get on with so many
to me,
Kerry
like,
people
West
as well.
Cork people, I think are very. Like when we went to, like, me and Connor went down to Ahill that Vintage Silage Day, the most people we've ever had come up to us and talk to us was at Ahill.
Yeah.
And all West Cork people going,
They're very supporting people.
seriously.
They're very supporting
Seriously
people.
supporting people. And like,
we actually have a group chat of, I think I'm the only person out. No, sorry, there's a Limerick man in it as well.
Oh, God.
And I'm the only other person that's not a Cork person in the group. We even got a CEO, because when we go to do something, that whole group step out to support. And it's the one guy, Shane Burns, is a very good friend of mine. He's the CEO in the group. And literally, if I don't see it because we're off doing something, he will get the group together, he'll know the score, and that group are there to support. And I mean, you can count on that group. They're just cracking
That's
fellas.
class.
Like, oh yeah, they're brilliant. They're like,
so the lorry, like the timber lorry and all, then Were you more wanting to fix the lorries, or was it just an excuse to get near lorries so you could learn how to drive them, or you could get near them, or give you an excuse to drive them?
It's just to be a part of them. It's just to be there. Its lorries were fucking everything.
Always Volvo.
Always Volvo.
Always Volvo.
No, Hino, believe it or not.
Hinos.
Yeah. And we were reared, believe it or not, and I do not like the lorries.
ERFs.
No Mercedes.
Oh.
We still have the old fella's 1981 Mercedes 1632 V10 sat at home in the yard.
What would that sound like, a V10?
Oh, she is nice. Now she's on standard box, the whole lot, but she will give you that V8 thump. And she was a manual Mercedes. Early 90 Mercedes went to the EPS box, which turned into a pile of dung.
Right.
You know, they were okay, they were good. Then I went to the whole gear stick on the wiper bullshit, and then you just had bleh. Yeah, you had. I'm at a roundabout now. I'm halfway on it, and I don't know whether I go to first or 10th. You know, that kind of way. So she was the real old school big gear handle, you know.
Yeah.
But we had Hinos as well. The first Arctic I ever drove was 280 Hino. 88 WX was the Regiver, and I actually found a TikTok video of it. Some guy took of it when it used to be an I lorry, and we had bought it then, and it was only just doing like moving cars, loads of bales. We had a big brute of a plant trailer on it, which was a load on its own. Back then it was a tandem axle dual wheel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking low loader with big massive ramps that you just open the pin and run. You know,
Yes.
it just slaps off the
No
ground.
hydraulics.
You're like
there.
watching, there's 2 marks into the tarmac, dig in, because it was the A-framed stoppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just pure ignorant.
Oh, pure
I bet
ignorant.
you that thing's probably better built than anything made today.
100% that trailer never bent and we never went on it.
No.
But maybe it just might show a bit of a more mentality of the madness that you see is my uncle. He got done for overweight with the Hino on timber. The day he got hauled in onto the weighbridge in Kilkenny, he went on, took off the load, came home, sold the lorry. He said it wasn't worth it because that man was loaded till you run out of bars. Either you run out of the bars or you're touching the clouds. That's how he travelled, was load up in the sky, no small loads. Sure, I was as bad, you know what I mean? That's just...
Okay, I was Ineos.
It was just in you. Just keep loading the fucker. You know, if you have to go to the sawmill 20 mile an hour less, you like just to get there. But at least you brought a bigger load.
Basically.
Yeah. Going in, watching a weighbridge max out. Like even when the big cool was working at timber, I remember going on to a weighbridge one night, a 60-ton weighbridge in a blanket. And I was like,
I was going to ask, were you hitting 60 ton? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Blanked it. I was like, that's my girl. And not missed a beat the whole way to the mill.
It's not mad hard to do, like with a lorry.
Nope. No.
Like if you really think about it.
Nope.
But legally it's 44 ton, isn't it?
46 down below.
Oh.
Yeah.
46 combined, lorry, trailer.
Lorry
everything.
trailer load.
Gross train weight.
Yeah. Just 28 ton load.
Yeah.
All pending on your empty weight. But
Yes,
I'm
of
thinking
course.
lorry, crane, trailer.
What roughly does a lorry weigh?
If I had to take, we'll say the Globetrotter with a crane, all me chains, tools, pipes, crane trailer, obviously didn't have alloy wheels, so a little bit heavier, was just 18 ton 100. I always remember her empty weight was 18 ton 100.
That's less than I expected,
What
actually.
would the trailer be in its own name?
Oh, the trailer on its own, because the lorry is 8 ton 100.
Lorry is
10
not...
ton trailer.
Yeah.
I thought
But
the lorry
that's with a crane, grab, everything mounted up on top.
That's actually...
For the weight
Lighter than I expected.
bees on an actual trailer, lorry's not mad heavy for in front of that.
Nope.
For if you think about it,
She's a 3-axle unit.
yeah, but like even if you, I suppose if you think about it in like agri terms, you'd really want at least an 8-ton tractor in front of say a triaxle
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And nowadays, obviously, tractors 10, 12 ton that would be pulling them, so you're not going to get bossed too much. But if you are, your standard contractor size.
Are they heavy on you up here with tractor and low loader, or tractor and trailers? Are they hard on you up here?
I think if you were
Commercial, you would
commercial
be,
use.
but,
If you can prove you're going to a farm, they tend to try and.
Well, at the end of the day, they want food on the table.
Yeah.
So realistically, like, slurry tanker terms,
Yeah.
realistically, they're getting away with that because it's an implement, not technically a trailer.
Yes.
So you could have a 5,000 gallon
it's
tanker.
a moving machine.
Yeah, you've technically a 5,000 gallon tanker behind a 12, 13 ton tractor.
Yeah.
They're getting away with it because it's an implement.
Yes.
So obviously, they're not. Whereas a silage trailer,
It's moving equipment.
it's maybe a bit different.
The one where they're going to crack down on boys is boys like using tractors nearly as a lorry.
Yeah.
And
They're at that now done home.
like that's the big one. Like, there's, to be fair, like, it's hard to prove that you're not going to do agricultural work. If you're a tractor in the road and you've a low loader and a digger on behind, like, you can turn around and say you're going to dig drains for a man, and they can't do anything to you.
Yeah.
They'd follow you though.
But if they followed you, yeah, or they caught you coming out of a building site,
Yeah.
because that's commercial. And the
And
first
you'd have
thing
to be
they'll
in clear diesel
yes,
as well
that's
now.
the first thing
Yeah,
they'll do.
I know, that's
clear
the- no,
diesel.
yeah.
Then the next thing they'll say that that's commercial use, and then they'll start looking through your insurances and all that caper.
And they'd probably want a tachograph on her then too.
Yeah,
Stop it.
I don't think there's any tractors really have tachographs.
I
Do you
don't
know
think so
any?
either.
No.
But if
That's-
you take a big, let's just say, a big Fent or a big T7 or something now, that thing will take off faster than the oak outside will.
100%.
Yeah.
And do nearly every bit of 50 mile an hour.
100%. Yeah.
Supposedly the most advanced gearboxes in the world are tractors.
Yes. Yeah.
It's
It's hydrostatic.
Varios would be hydrostatic.
Vario, sorry.
Yeah.
Whereas even your standard power shift is supposed to be where the DSG boxes and cars and all originated from. If I mind seeing it somewhere, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But it was there were, the DSGs and your torque converters all originated from the agriculture side of things. I think I could be full of shit, so if anybody wants to correct
Have
me.
either of you ever been to Agritechnica?
I'd
Germany?
love-
I'd love to go to
Do it.
Agritechnica.
Do it. Whatever it is, do it. I mean, right, I'm not a big agri man, right? I'm not, I know fucking agri, I know what a tractor is and stuff, but ye will walk that place for days
Oh, well, believe it.
looking. Like,
There's 17 halls or something. Full of them.
24.
24.
24 halls.
And they're like,
Now, bear in mind, sorry, I hit the dicky.
Oh, you're right.
Right? But there is like 2 or 3 of those sheds where it's complete space aged, X-raying weeds in the ground, killing off these with Blu-ray stuff, and you're just not going to be interested. Because you'd rather go see 4 Indians build a remote control tractor. And that's what's out there. Like, I seen so many, like, do you know what? I'm going to say it straight out. The Fent stand at last year was fucking huge. Like, the big, was she 936?
936 or 939 maybe?
possibly.
939, she was the
Yeah.
big daddy.
You get bigger now. You get
Oh, you get-
1050.
Well, this was last year now.
No.
1050, it's out a few number of years.
This is the
1050,
black
the front-
edition
the-
Fent.
Yeah.
The front wheels would be maybe taller than us.
And the front, at the front wheel of it was one of the first Fendt tractors, which was tiny to go in under the bench.
Ah.
Yeah, it was just such a display. The black edition Fendt combines, like Valtra. Valtra had a massive stand at it. Valtra is actually very impressive.
Seriously good engines.
I think Valtra. I drove a Valtra for a long time.
ICO Power Engines, which was formerly Sisu Engines,
Sisu, yeah.
was
Serious good
formerly
engine.
Voltra Engines. So
Yeah.
all ICO Power is literally Voltra Engines.
Which originated from Volvo.
oh,
Well, see,
Sure, Valtra was Volvo.
Scandinavian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Five.
right.
Valtra Volvo. Or
Yeah.
Volvo
But
Volvo.
remember
no.
that? It was a Volvo BM. Then it went to Volvo Valtra.
Volvo BM Valmet.
Valmet.
Then it become Vomit. Then Valtra.
Valtra, yeah. It originated because the red Volvos had the sloped bonnet, which the Valtra started out with. Yeah, or Valmet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Whatever way you wanted to say it.
The other thing as well is anytime you ever looked at like the higher tractors, the tractors are done the most hours. It was always the Finnish boys, the logging tractors, or the Swedish boys, the logging tractors, 33,000 hours. Like, and being like, never had a spanner to the engine, just serviced every 250 hours on the dot.
Yeah.
And these things, they were always, especially the old Vomits, were just known for going forever, like, because it's such a good engine.
They had a massive stand at last year. Do it.
To be fair,
book your tickets.
Very recently, I read. Well, I know very little, but the new Fendt 600 series has the new 5-litre 4-cylinder engine. Now the 4.9, which is in my own tractor at home,
right,
which is Massey Ferguson, they went up to I think about 200 horse, was probably about their limit, and now the new 5-litre is like 225, 230, 4-cylinder with serious torque for all the size of them. But which is mind blowing what they can do now.
Yeah. But they do like getting back to it. It's the same. It's more technology going on than a new Scania or a new Volvo. It is like in a tractor. You know what I mean? You just said it there. It's doing every bit as much as a lorry, and that's the window. Like as we said about lads down home, we know it's getting tighter. You said it. They're at that now as well. If you're moving diggers down south, they want the haulage license, clear diesel, all that kind of stuff. That's why I was intrigued to know, are they like that? Oh, Peter.
They weren't until the whole red diesel thing. I know.
Really?
I know years ago, whenever I was doing a bit of work,
you'd probably be moving them allegedly maybe at night.
Yeah. You do realise you can do more? You can do more than dumping tires in the dark. Yeah. There you go. You can move all kinds of shit in the dark. That's why I stay out on it.
Seen a lot of sketchy things moving in the dark, like.
Well, if you ever did a stint at timber and you moved during the night, you've seen some fucking weird shit. Yeah. Or you've seen some horny teenagers.
That's the other thing.
At the forestry gates. It used to be a pastime of mine. Not watching, but swing in the barrier gate and you see this little Mitsubishi Colt, the windows are fogged up, and next thing you see everyone
fucking scrambling, man.
And you see him out with his arm up, he's trying to put on his jumper and everything. You're there with full beams on, going. I'm not getting laid because I'm fucking working, so you're not getting laid either. Yeah.
If I can't get it, neither can you.
I'm just a spoil sport. Is that my cousin? Touche.
Is that both my cousins?
Yeah.
Peter, so in your in your own way of explaining it, how did bad company become a thing then?
We'll get the PG version, or you can give us the full one.
Hate. Just getting hated upon.
Oh, towards yourself?
Yeah, towards me. Look, if not to get too deep into it, but just there was a stage back in 2019 where it was like, where is this hate? Like, you know when you're a man that isn't paying much heed to shit going on around you, but next thing you start to see, like, hang on a second, was my name just attached to something I just spotted there on social media? And it's like calling me all these names or saying that I couldn't afford a pair of shoes and all this kind of shit.
So this happened after you bought the first lorry, basically?
After I bought the first lorry. I seen stuff where a man was like, what a fool putting his name on another man's equipment. I was like, hold up a second, that's my lorry. I bought that lorry. This, I would never do that to someone. I would not put my name on someone else's gear because people work hard for what they have. 100%. But all this shit started going on. I was like, right. So tried to confront people about it. I was like, where's the problem? And I wasn't getting a straight answer. Then it was supposedly I was been talking about these people, so I tried to trace back to where I was talking about them, because let's keep it fucking straight. Let's, if you want to be this way, let's see where the problem stemmed from.
Whispers were going on.
Whispers. So I traced back, and I went to other people and I was like, was this said? No, and they'd laughed. They were like, are you even feeding into this. And I'm like, but why are they hating? So basically, if I put up a picture on Facebook, you liked it or you commented, you'll get a message from this man saying, don't hang with him, he's bad company. You'll get the same message, that lad's bad company. There's no good in him. It's not this. So, fair enough. Tried to go out and get my pint across, and it was they were feeding really bad into my private life, into my life. Not even, it wasn't even private, it was just my life. They do just so much. And got to a point where I was like, do you know what, lads? How do ye save your time for family and loved ones? I'll tell people I'm bad company. I don't need ye to tell people. I'll do it myself. And I went off and I stuck bad company. I got bad company wrote on like 10 hats. And people were like, oh, I want one. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, I want one. I was like, okay. So then we got another few hats. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have one. I was like, yeah. And I was like, do you know what? Fuck them. I am bad company. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. Shit, like, basically, I just wanted to put it doesn't matter what they're going to call you. You're still going to do your thing. Whether you agree with me, you don't.
Mm-hmm. That's the main thing.
You're still going to do your thing. You know, if you're going to take in a lad, knock you down, which it did at the start. At the start, I was like, wow.
Especially if people are making up false claims. Like, that would get to me, because
there's 3 sides to every story.
Yes.
3 ways of it. That's the way I always see it. And in those type of things, I know my side of the fucking story, so fuck them. You know, I'm not going to say it's the fucking right one. It is what it is.
I would find it very, very hard to know that I'm telling the truth. Like, nothing's worse than knowing something's true and telling someone and people just going, aye, all right. Like,
yeah, I actually came across something like that recently, where whispers again, where like a young fella came up and we were at a show and he was like, oh, I heard this, and I was like, I was kind of behind the counter going, fucking skid mark. And then his father was behind me. He goes, I heard that you got. I was like, so that's where the little skid mark gets it from. But at the same time, left it over my head because, like everything, I know what went on. I know what went down. I know how it happened. Whatever fucking side of the story you got or someone wants to fucking feel better about, go ahead. Don't need to fucking sit and wallow about it. That kind of way. You move. You move. If they don't want to deal with it, they don't want to deal with it. Carry on.
I suppose at the same time, whenever there is whispers goes on, it's amazing what filters they pass through.
100%.
And how things can change.
Yes.
I suppose it's like maybe whenever you were at school or that, you maybe said something to one person and then they maybe didn't hear the full thing, so they had to fill it in with it. And by the end of it, it could be a totally different story.
100%.
Was it then from your hat endeavour to a wee bit that you ended up, was it social media committed that then?
Well, the social media had been going anyway. Not big. Not big. I was fluting around with like Snapchat and stuff, and we were making funny videos and ramping the tractor lawnmower in the yard, and 10-second videos that were funny. Like, you to make it as funny as fuck, as fast as fuck.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it fucking kicked from. And it just kind of grew from there. And then, you know, you'd be there and the lad would say, yeah, you might stick Bad Company on a t-shirt for me. I'm, okay. Yeah, really? And he'd be like, yeah. So then I kind of said, you know what, if we, obviously, being driven charity-wise, because that was my promise. At the end of the day, you can have Bad Company out there, right? But I'm the man driving that. But I'm the man that made the promise.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember that. I will not let that go. I'm that man. I may have started this to be as what it is, but I'm the man that made a promise in the dark for charity.
Yes.
So you keep that drive.
So, well, actually, because we'll discuss the charity work, but what does Bad Company actually do? You don't really know the answer, do you?
It's funny because a man actually congratulated me recently. He was like, I love what Bad Company does. And I was like,
I don't even know what Bad Company does.
I was like, what do we do? Bad Company is one of those things we we would put out a daily blog through like Instagram and Snapchat, just of what we're doing, what we're up to, check in on people, put out a vibe of, listen, let's roll, let's do our thing today, let's crack on. You know what I mean? It's just a blog thing, but basically with Bad Company, I don't get wage from it. There's no wage towards me, right?
Is it just yourself doing Bad
Just
Company?
at the end of the day, the sizes, the complaints, the mixture of posts or missing posts, that's me. The getting in sizes, ordering stock, packing stock, meeting people with, going to shows with, that's one man. That's one person. And that's because I committed to that. I started it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's just do me thing.
But was it supposed to be merch, or
No.
was it?
It was never meant. This was never meant to be. Never meant to be. And it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
Happy little accident by the sounds of it. It's a happy little accident.
Happy little accident. And we actually have a wax melt company. We actually do fragrance wax melts. Yeah, Bad Company does fragrance wax melts, like fresh cut grass and.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you can put them in the burner and the house will smell like fresh cut grass. I mean, I'm not saying it because Bad Company has it, but it actually does smell like fresh cut grass. 50 Shades is a scent, like all that. Winter Rose. That's really weird coming out of a lab with such a fuck you attitude.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do relaxing fragrances.
It's like, we build like motorbike engine cars, and we also do candle scents.
Yes, you can have a relaxing bath with a fragrance melt. Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
your man's out there tearing about and fucking.
Yeah, we're outside cutting the shit out of something, and we're making fucking wax melts.
You could be playing farm sim and have fresh cut grass smell all around you.
Boom, right there. If you want to really bring your farm simulator to reality, you put a little burner there, you put in a little tea light, and you got the smell of fresh cut grass. Yeah, we do that. But all that going on, Bad Company, then we take on bills and projects.
Yes.
We take on bills and projects that you wouldn't fire in a skip. We take them on.
What was your first one?
My first ever trek was I bought a Fiat Seicento, right? A 01 Fiat Seicento. And
I love how this, like, Southerners always refer to cars. It was a 01, it was an 86.
yeah,
Yeah, because of obviously the way your license plates are.
you're like, it was a V reg, it was an R reg, it was a B reg, yeah. But it was a 01 Fiat Seicento. And I bought off two young fellas that were ragging around the field. Basically, went to go see it, started it. It boiled within like 50 seconds because the head gasket was knackered. And it's a Fiat. So I was
again
like,
tomorrow.
Perfect. Said to your man, bought off the man.
shit.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I was like, what a lovely little car. And off we went with our Fiat Seicento because I had a plan. I had a storyline. And we started making storylines to everything that we did. For those who don't want to talk. For those who might be feeling it a struggle, let's put a machine to struggle and show what it can do by just keeping itself at it. Keeping its mind in it, believing in itself. So, took home the Fiat Seicento anyway, spray painted it pink, right? Because the way I see it is, it was for Pieta House, which is suicide awareness, and so many people, because of bullying, they've taken their own lives. So the way I saw it was, if I paint this pink, I put pink butterflies and pink flowers on it. I'm a grown man in a little pink car, fucking pick on me. Is it going to stop me? No. So whoever wanted to say something, let him say it. This was going to be the storyline behind it. It's not going to stop whatever way you look. People can't come at you for the way you look. You're doing your thing. Leave that person alone, regardless of who they look, what they look like. We took on 32 counties in a Fiat Seicento. I put Nova Stop in the engine, which obviously is designed for bulldozers and diggers and lorries, and that was the head gasket. We got back heaters. And I didn't even change the battery. There was a cell dying in the battery because if I stopped in one county, it might start again. In the next county, I'd have to get people to push me.
Yeah.
But I'd get started and get going. So that car came from a dark place.
Yes.
With a little bit of just, I can do it. A little bit of quiet. We're inside in the shed. It's quiet time. We're not going to shout from the rooftops, but we can do it. That car went on and conquered 32 counties in 27 hours. Yeah, 27 hours. I had aimed for 24, but 3 hours got away from me, meeting people and all the rest of it. But we still did 32 counties, brought back, and put out the storyline of you can come. Just because you're in a dark place doesn't mean you're finished. Does not mean that. You can believe in yourself and you get stronger and stronger. Every county, every mile, every kilometre, we kept going. Boom, the car completed 32 counties.
That's class.
Yeah, that was our very first one. And I still have it sitting at home in the shed.
Oh,
That is actually the best way to
get
do
rid of
something.
that.
Huh?
That's an unreal way to do something. To use the likes of that as an analogy for
100%.
mental health.
Yeah. Because not like for all the world, don't get me wrong, we leave here tonight. You've got something going on and you don't want to talk about it. And you don't want to say it. But no, and it is good to talk. Garrett Gall will agree with me there.
Yep.
He's a very, very strong-minded man for mental health.
Yeah.
But maybe you just don't want to say it. Maybe just tomorrow you're going to go out and you're going to jump up in the tractor and you're going to be like, yeah.
Hey, a long day in a tractor as a scary, and I'd say it's the same as a lorry.
Oh, very same. Very same.
Very lonely day.
Yeah,
at times.
that's why even if we go back to where I was struggling mentally, those days in the lorry, torturing myself. Torturing myself because I couldn't see, no matter what way I did up my sums, they were negative. And I was like, this is wrong. This is wrong. We have to see a plus. We have to see a positive in something. And that's where the strength started to build. We, day by day, you're not going to just go, boom, I'm better. It's not how it happens. You got to build that up. I believe. I can only speak for me. But you look and you say, well, that little car came out of the Briars. That little car was actually heading for the crusher. And do you know what? People were slagging it. People were saying that heap of shit's not going to do it. It did it because the car didn't listen. Look at our recent one. We got bad contradiction for that one.
Seriously?
Oh, I mean, now there was one man in particular. Oh, he came at me in comments on TikTok over my choice of engine.
So this is the most recent video, or
Our most recent build.
So talk us through that, and then
I'm actually after jumping some. After that, our second run was we got a 99 Yamaha Aerox. Aerox, a little scooter, which 49cc, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not even 50.
Oh wow.
And obviously enough, a moped was designed for towns and cities. You know what I mean? It was water cooled, it was liquid cooled, but it was designed for towns and cities, not designed for long journeys. I rode it from Mallinhead to Mizenhead, from signpost to signpost. Yeah.
How long?
2 days.
2 long days.
2 long days.
How's your arse after?
Oh, I mean, killing me. I was dressed as Buzz Lightyear.
To infinity and beyond.
To infinity and beyond.
And
I actually painted that pink as well with little pink tassels on the handlebars. Yeah.
What was the story behind that one?
It was done for Laura Lynn, which is a kids' hospice in Dublin.
Okay.
And it's for sick children. And basically, don't underestimate yourself. Just because you're in a world looking at the big dicks or the big thing out there, and you've ambition, but you're turning yourself off because you feel that you can't. There's the moped. It's designed that's like saying, "Oh, I'm only designed to go around the city."
Yeah.
No. I'm your heart. I'm your brain now. So I got up on that, and we went from the lowest point in the country to the top of the country, because I didn't want people to feel like, I wanted them to learn, don't underestimate yourself. It's not about your build, your big, your size, your bank account. It's none of that. It's about how much you believe in you. It's about how much you can drive yourself on.
It's like your life is built upon, Peter, of never judge a book by its cover.
Correct. But unfortunately, in today's day and age, people do judge people.
Yes.
Too much.
And too much, and with social media now as well, it does follow people, and they
But you're
put people
but
down.
like, even from maybe young ones now with social media,
Yeah.
like society is nearly made to judge people.
Oh yeah, which I don't agree with.
You know, like,
I don't agree with.
This is literally-
there's two ways of social media. You can use it positively, or you can use it nastily.
the worst thing though possibly that could have come out of social media was filters.
Yep.
Catfishing.
Well, not even just filters. Like, everybody's life is painted amazingly.
Oh, yeah, when you
Nobody's
look at
doing.
it, yeah.
Nobody does bad anymore.
Even on a dark day, you can make if you took a picture on a shitty day, you can make it look like the sunniest day.
Correct.
Just with filters.
Yeah, but I'm that man that never uses a filter. That never use. It's what you see is what you see.
I would
Like,
say you
like
have no
nothing's
filter.
raw anymore.
Yeah, nothing is raw. You're dead right. You're actually very correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're dead right there. I actually didn't think about it from that angle. But I never think about filters or...
Like, I suppose if you think about it, 20 years ago, I suppose, like, a lot of people thought, you know, like, your 7-seater car, the normal ones, like a van basically, was the ideal family car. You don't see them anymore, really. It's everybody needs
Has
to
to have
have
a big fucking Jeep.
has to have a big Jeep,
Correct.
and
And they wouldn't drive a Jeep unless it was on air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has to be the bigger version, and it has to have this, and it has to have that.
Correct.
Yeah.
well, yeah, like, nobody really, like, there is obviously a lot of folk do still drive like the Chirans and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
crack, but you do meet a lot more Jeeps and that in the
Yeah.
road.
And if you go down to Tipperary, you'll meet a 03 clapped out transit coming with a fur coat on. Because I go around in a transit with a fur coat on me. Oh, fur coat, no knickers. Just because I look good don't mean I'm fucking, you know what I mean? We're going great.
What's the crack with a fur coat?
Look good when you're going bad. That's what it's about. And a woman actually gave me that coat. A woman gave me that coat. And I refused to actually take it from her. So I made a donation in her name for the coat. But why she gave it to me was make sure and keep people laughing. That was the only thing she asked me. Keep people laughing. I was like, years ago, back in the day, if you wore a full coat, you made it.
Yeah.
You made it if you wore a full
That's
coat.
why the saying is fur coat, no knickers.
Yeah,
It was all show.
yeah,
And
just because you look flash doesn't mean you are flash. You know what I mean? Or look good when you're going bad. So that's why, like, and everyone down home, all of my neighbours, like, I reckon they should have a YouTube channel from just watching me. You know, they should have a channel of just videoing me. Like, the lad next door thinks I am a space cadet because I'd fly across the lawn dressed as Jesus on a ride-on lawnmower. I could pass back on a Honda 50 with a wheelie bin on my head. I have done the wheelie bin. I actually have a wheelie bin. I cut the arse out of it and I cut my two arms out of it. So, no, it wasn't for costume purposes. That's all I'm going to say. It was for safety purposes. Because, you know, when you think you can build stuff.
Yes.
But realistically, you're the nutty professor.
yes.
So I built something one day. I was shit sick of fucking putting wire in the streamers. So I put a blade on it.
Oh, good
But it was a
God.
homemade blade out of 2mm checker plate.
It sounds like something you'd see in dangerous grinder attachments.
Yeah. And I sharpened it up with the flap disc and I centred the hole, what I thought was centred, and tightened it into the end of the streamers. And I said, if this comes off, it's actually going to saw through my body.
Yes.
So I got the wheelie bin for protection. So I trimmed the hedge wearing a wheelie bin with my arms out through the bin. There's actually a video on TikTok of me trimming the hedge with my head sticking out the lid of the bin in case the blade came off, at least it wouldn't cut through me. Good idea, I thought. It was an armour suit.
Did it work?
Yeah, it never came off. And it cut all the hedge, and it cut all the grass, and it cut all the edges, and then I met a stone and buckled it.
You're lucky all that's all you did was buckling it.
I know, yeah. I have a lot of faith in that little M8 bolt.
Peter, out of curiosity, maybe this is a question you don't want to answer, but what caused you to go through the bad time? You're somebody obviously with a very you come across as strongly mentally minded, and you don't give a fuck.
Oh no!
But
no,
what would cause like a man like yourself?
When I went through really well. Look, it can be in people. It can be one of those things, and it can be triggered, and then you could face life objects where it just drags you down. And basically, I don't know. I went through a bad breakup.
Okay.
I went through a really, really, really bad breakup, and it was a violent one. Not on my behalf. And it just kind of just plummeted from there. It just plummeted. And it got to the point of just... Now, it didn't end at the breakup. For years, it went on.
Okay.
Even to the fact, this would be 10 years, right? They got in touch with me at the start of this year over a subject, and I was like, what? 10 years? And, you know, all the starts, I was like, do you know what? Just forget about it. You know, don't... I don't know why they did.
How long were you going through the tough time for? Or how long did it take you to come out of the tough time?
I probably gave a couple of years.
Well, you're saying 10 years, that was 2014, and you're saying the low point still coming out was 2019.
2014, right, was... 2014 was... Wait, no, hang on now, I have my figures wrong. Here. I'm actually 8 years, sorry. 2014, grand. Fucking mad, fucking red-blooded male, you know yourself. And 15, 16, boom. Everything hit the ground. Everything hit the floor. And mentally, financially, finished.
Mm-hmm.
There was just a shell. And now, if I had to throw a word at myself of what I probably was a shell.
Okay, yeah.
I was empty. I was done. And it was a case of the next couple of years was trying to get financially back straight again, which we worked very hard to do. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a case of, and I'd actually relate that to anyone who would ever be speaking with me on, everyone hits financial difficulty.
Yep.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's like puberty. It's a thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Everyone hits a financial struggle. It does not mean it's over. Mm. You have your choice. Mm. You pick up, you work hard. So you gain it back.
2016 bad time, and it took you to 2019 to be fully yourself again.
2019 basically trying. If I had to say or give where I was at 19, I was on my knees.
Yeah,
but I was completely floored at 16.
Yes,
I was lying on my back. If I had to be honest,
you'd received a knockout punch in 2016.
Yeah. And my back was to the ropes. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever deny that to people. I have no shame in turning to anyone and saying, listen, in 2016 I hadn't the price of that. I couldn't afford that. Mm-hmm. And obviously, with such a financial mess behind, every working week, I know what that feeling was. Stick your card on the wall and there'd be a minimum amount there. And your eyes burning from working to try and pay back. But if you've got that minimum amount there, next week, try it again. Mm-hmm. If that minimum amount can be there, you're going well. If your eyes are burning, give yourself that little bit of rest and hit it again. You know what I mean? You will wear down the problem. Don't let the problem wear you down. That's where I was at. And even at that whole time, with the whole boys in their back coming, I thanked them people. I thank them that hate upon me then, because what was a shit time in life, and then seeing people broadcast me fucking life across social media, enemies. I thank them. Fair play, because when my back was to the ropes, you can do two things as a person: hit him again, or stand back. And they hit again, and I had no choice but to try and straighten this. I had no choice. It could fade away.
Yeah, of course.
Could fade away, work away, no problem. Or just try and get yourself back up again.
Well, do you feel if you hadn't have been yourself and your own personal character, if you had have been, maybe not weaker minded, but you are a bit of a mad bastard. But if you hadn't have been that bit of a mad bastard,
if you weren't actually, if the screws maybe were a wee bit tighter in your head,
do you think you would have come through it?
I'd say so.
You would have found a way, basically.
I probably would have chipped away at a different pace, because, and I know 100%, not like I could have went home, but I didn't, because I feel my parents are elderly. They've been through business. They've done all that. I could go home and say everything's tickety boo. That's not how everything falls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't run home every problem in life. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to stand up and say, here we are.
It's time to be adult.
I actually remember, and that crawler van that I'm building, I remember my old man taking that off me, because I was actually driving around with, I'd say I had one good tyre. I had no MOT, no tax, full, well, not full because I couldn't afford a full, but there was green diesel. And I cherished that van because I had that during a hard time. I cherished that van. But I remember the old man, and my old man now would be a man of tax wouldn't matter shit.
Yeah, the green diesel wouldn't matter shit.
He actually took it off me and gave me a Focus that he'd taken in on a trade in. And he was like, just drive around with this. Just take this. I was working away with my van. I was up and down the back roads. But he was like, you are going to get yourself locked up in that thing. Not that the matter of shit. But he was like, so I was actually going around in a lend of a Focus. And one day, I'll never deny and I'll never hide this, and people do use the term, I actually had it out with an engineer recently, is I drove to Tramore Beach, picked up a stick and I drew a line in the sand. Not mentally, I actually did it. Physically went down, I drew a line in the sand. And I said, no, we have two choices. We stay here, we try and wallow around and think, fuck, Jesus, like the whole world is against me, or we climb over this. We cross that line. If we cross that line, we don't go back. We don't go back. Whatever life is going to throw, we're going for it. This is a boot to the head like commitment, where it's just like you with your sideways in your wall. Whether that wall is coming at me or not, we are not lifting the shoe. And that was my mindset change. That was the day where I said, we'll make this commitment now.
Yeah.
You've made the choice to drive to the beach. You've driven an hour to the beach. Don't go back on your word. I had nothing. I don't have anything to give people because I had no money. So I gave my word. My word was 100%. So we drew a line in the sand and crossed the line. Said, this is where we go from here. Whatever it is, whatever comes or go. And don't get me wrong, we have had a lot of ups and downs. A lot of ups and downs.
But you'll always have speed bumps along the way.
Always. We've had some serious, absolute crash lands, but it was just get up, get going.
That was the day you made your goal there.
That was the day the whole thing changed. Draw a line in the sand. Realistically, it's the truth.
Yep.
It is. You can either stay there, everything's gone. What am I going to do? Am I going to lay down and just go, I tap out, I'm done? Or do you cross the line, you've got fuck all in your pocket, you're going around in a car you don't even own. You know what I mean? You're living on the side of the road in a fucking lorry. You're showering in your mum's. Your mum's upset because you're going off in the middle of the night. She's ringing me to make sure I got out of Forest at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. You go and you're like, Matt, why aren't you asleep? Oh, I just wanted to make sure you got out of the wood. You know, I'd pull in at 10 o'clock in the night to my mother's. I'm just grabbing a shower, Matt. And then she'd ring. She'd be like, where are you going now? Oh, I'm going up the road and I'm going to sleep. She'd ring an hour or 2 hours later, you out of the wood. Because she'd check up for you gone out of the wood. She'd know well I was lying. I was going off for another load. But it was a case of with her head down, we had to work hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. We needed every penny we had.
Well, was it post Focus that you ended up saving, got your money together and bought your lorry? Or
Yeah. We tried to save up a few pound. Bills were getting minimum. We had sorted out a lot of problems and we were just getting on our way then. We were getting level, like. So, and that's, like I said then, when that other thing happened, so.
Well, people probably don't know how much work you were doing through the night.
No, they didn't.
You know, people wouldn't have known that.
I really, really, I hope, and I just want to get this out there. I'm really enjoying this podcast with the boys, and I hope I don't come across as an arrogant man.
No,
Right?
not the slightest.
No, but
Just a
I
fucking
never do.
nutcase.
But I worked that lorry 24 hours a day. I mean, that lorry went night and
Allegedly.
day.
To the HMRC. Allegedly.
Allegedly is
There
right.
was years
To the
ago.
the RSA. Allegedly.
That was years ago, and trust me, we had our difficulties with them too. I hope he's still not waiting in the dish for me. One did tell me, he was like, "You're up to something," and I was like, "I'm not. I'll wait for you one of these nights," he said.
But at
Nor say,
times, there's a lot of people don't get anywhere without doing something like that. You know, like hard
Yeah.
work pays off.
Do you ever hear anybody like even Dave Egan in Drift Games or any of them people? Do you ever hear any of them turning around saying, sure, I was sitting there and one day it just come to me and that was that and it was easy, and you know,
Yeah.
actually the only person I've heard say that is, do you know who your man Scotty Farrington is?
Yeah, Scotty.
Scotty's a mad cunt too.
Yeah, he
But
is. Scotty's nuts.
But he does work hard. But it's just in him. But I remember we asked him how he got big on TikTok, and Donkey 262 is another one. They said they just made a stupid video that really took off.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, that's easy," and I was like, "No, it's not." And they're like, "Oh, well, it happened for us." But them boys work hard to do.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like Donkey and Scotty are two lads that they never stop. So they may have got easy with that video that happened to go viral. They don't stop ever. Scotty's doing stuff all hours a day. So's Donkey. They're doing mad shit all the time. They
But
never stop.
But they found a thing that worked for them.
Yes.
But it's that whole thing of even like anybody who you know's doing well, they're fucking working.
Yeah, 100%.
And-
You can't hold it against them.
No.
And it's like, I suppose, when you find the thing that works for you,
Yeah, do it.
You hold on to it and do it.
it becomes easy for you because it is your thing.
Keep the head down. Keep at 100%. Like, now don't get me wrong, I don't know Donkey 262, but
As a gentleman.
yeah,
But he actually, you'd be quite similar in the way you're saying, "Oh, I hope I don't come across as arrogant." If you look at Robert's videos, like he's this absolute gowling man. That's like
no, and even I can stop you there because not knowing the man, but a young boy, Jack Beattie, he's a friend of mine.
Yes.
Right? Jack is Jack idolises upon Donkey, and from what I've seen, Donkey is very, very good to Jack.
he's a
So-
good person in general.
But from that, even not knowing the man, I'd actually say there is one cracker of a man. You know, just from seeing how he is
Yeah.
with my friend Jack.
Well, like, a typical example, we went and seen a fight that a friend of ours was basically amateur boxing. And Robert was at it. And now Robert had only met me through the podcast. And I understand, yes, he was here for a period of time and that.
Yeah.
But he made a point to come and say hello.
Yeah.
He didn't walk past.
Yes.
And he went out of his way.
He does come across as that kind of man.
He's a working man.
Yeah. No, the man has my not that I don't know him personally. The man has my respect because I look at people like that and I think, do you know what? Respect. Actually, funny, and you can actually judge this, right? The other day, stumbled upon a video of a man. Now, I wouldn't say we had fucking bad blood. We were fucking young fellas. Crosswords went over and back, but we know what I mean. We're not friends from it.
Yeah.
He had a video up the other day based on mental health with a very strong message in it. And I actually stopped, viewed his video, even though we had bad experiences, liked the man's video, then went on my way. Because at that moment in time and what the message the man was trying to put out, I liked it. I promoted it.
It was the right message.
Yeah.
Promote it. Even though we don't see eye to eye, what you're doing right there, buddy, I like. I'm not going to turn the next corner and say, hey, look at that wanker's doing. Because that's just not how it is. You know what I mean? I just saw it as a powerful video. I said, hey, you know what? Is that wrong of me? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think so.
You know, I didn't want to scroll past and think, oh, do you remember this time fucking a few years ago? You said, fuck off.
Did you agree with the message?
I agreed to exactly
then.
what he was doing. And I actually said, you know what, lad? Fair play.
To be fair, it's funny. Things that could be said or done in school. It's funny when people grow up
Yes.
and you have a mental image or a mental perception of somebody.
Yeah.
And then you meet them again in years gone by.
Mm-hmm.
And then your whole perception changes because we all grew up and we're all in the same playing field.
Time passes. Time goes by. And, you know, you could get more relaxed in life. You might get a bit more uptight in life. You know, but, like, holding on to things like that, no. I see if you hold on to things, you're not getting places.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on to something to give you drive.
Yeah, hold on to something worth holding on to.
Hold on to something that's going to give you drive. Something that's in the dark night when you're winded.
Yep.
And you need to hear that thing that got you drive, and you take it on and say, yeah, right, let's go.
The thing is, and like, I mean, and I'm eating my own words here because I'd be quite bad for this, but the past is the past.
Yeah.
And you cannot change the past unless you invent a fucking time machine.
Yeah.
You cannot change the past. The past is the
100%.
past, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Now, I am one of those people that literally will think about something stupid I said to a girl when I was 14 and cringe over it for the next 3 years. That's just the type of me. But genuinely, like, you can't hold on to the past and go like, fuck this here and not there, and I could have
Hit him. just hit him in the arm. No, go on and hit him in the arm.
But why? There's no point in it.
There is a point. Hit him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you're his friend, right? He is not going to think about that or that one moment in time again, right? Because you just snapped it out of him. You're his friend. That's what friends are for. Don't worry about them things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Do you think I didn't say stupid shit when I was in school? Mm-hmm. Oh my God, the slurry that used to come out of me. I was some tank of shit. Right? And it was pointless shit, but fuck it, I found it funny. You know what I mean? It wasn't to ever hurt anybody.
No, I was just cringe.
Yeah. But sure, cringe away. What about it? Who cares?
Like, funny, out of all the films and all the characters, funny, I can mind whenever I was younger watching Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Right.
And it was a scene whenever Han and Sean were standing looking over guys playing football in a rooftop. And Han came out with the statement of life is about making choices and not looking back.
Mm-hmm.
And by God, it's never run out of my head since.
Yeah.
And that is very true. Life is just about making choices and you best just not looking back.
Just
Hoping
go for
it
it.
sticks.
Go for it.
But a lot of it is, like, I originally wasn't even going to start this podcast. I talked about it for a long time. And then a lad who I was with in work one day, and I was saying, do you know what, I was thinking maybe doing a video or maybe doing a podcast or something like that. And he goes, why wouldn't you? And I was just like...
And there you go.
And I was just like, I don't know. I was
Now
like,
we're here
I was like...
with one of Northern Ireland's biggest growing podcasts. It's growing.
Yeah,
it's getting
growing.
there.
It's growing. It's definitely growing, yeah.
It's not a lie when I say it's growing.
No, it's...
Yeah.
So a little bit of credit here, boys. You're doing it. You know what I mean? You're fucking at it.
But I just think back to that conversation where Adam turned to me. It was Adam Cranston, and he turned. And he goes, Scully. He goes, you should do that. He goes, I don't know why you wouldn't. He goes, you're a good talker. He goes, and like, he's like, you're into cars. He goes, you're into tractors. Why wouldn't you do that? I goes, I guess no one's done it before, and I don't really know if people will listen to it. And he just went, well, I think you should try.
It was a random journey on the way home that somehow I landed here.
okay.
So,
Because you're a good talker.
like realistically, it's been said multiple times because we went over how we started and how this became a thing. But I suppose being a reliable friend and having to come here to see the misery of the Sierra, things going wrong, always being there to see sort of, you know, the first startup and everything that's basically went wrong with it.
Yep.
That I've ended up in
You've
this
gained
scene.
your stripes.
More or less.
Yeah.
But the
So
thing
like the way I look at things is now, I would be the quieter one,
Yes, you are. But we're going to work on this.
but I nearly prefer that for I'm a facilitator for Michael to do his thing, and I'm happy to be that. You know,
But I would rather Connor was.
See, here we go. Right,
I would,
guys.
like I would rather Connor was a bit more. Like you see, like, even when we do the videos, Connor is kind of like, no, I'm just happy to stand back. Like the other day we were doing some videos for Tully Rowan, and I was like, Connor, go interview them, and he was like, no, you interview them. I was like, Connor,
You'd be quite good at interviewing.
really good at interviewing,
I think you'd be really good.
really good. Won't do it.
well, thank you, but in all seriousness, I'm literally just happy go Larry to just
Yeah, no, I
to watch.
get that, right?
But I just
But
see so much potential.
Like I
there is so much potential, but just bear one thing in mind, okay? And I'm not I'm not professional, okay? Right? I fake it till I make it, okay?
Same.
But yeah, but right, you start off your interview, you lay it out who you're interviewing, you speak to the camera. After that, you listen. Once you can do that, right, and then interact in your interview, right, which once you're finished your introduction to who's with you, like let's say I'm here beside Michael from Limited Slip Diffs, or Differences, sorry.
Everyone says diffs.
Yeah,
It's fine.
diff. LSD by MIG. So you're going to say, yeah, Michael from Limited Slip Differences. And Michael, what's the story? You're down here now at Tully Rowan today. And Michael is going to go, yeah, I'm here. I'm doing it. Here's Tully Rowan. Yeah. There's a plug for Tully Rowan. Actually, I'm below beside Tipperary Raceway as well, so don't. I do like Tully Rowan and Tip. Michael's going to give you a bit, and you're going, oh, yeah. All right, yeah. Good. Great catching up with you. Cheers, Michael. Boom. You can nail that.
100%.
You can nail that.
Connor.
Just once you get your start off, because I have interviewed before, I have done them things. Yeah. And after that, once you listen, and you can just interact at that point, don't, because you will feel yourself sliding away because you're like a camera's on one side, there's a person on the other side. Just keep focus on the conversation.
Because it's funny. So, number one, I'm the type of person who normally, say you're playing a video game.
Right.
I'm the type of person who enjoys watching somebody play the video game. I don't really care about playing it myself. I'm that type of person, right? And I know, like,
And I don't understand it either.
What?
so yeah.
I know what's going through your head.
I know you know what's going through your head.
I don't even know what's going through my head. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. You need to work on that. You've got a lot of skills right there. I never met you till today.
True.
Never.
Well, you did. Only you nearly took me out in a wee Mark II go-kart.
Yeah, but that's because I was starstruck. I was like, there's the two for differences. I was like, maybe I'm going to be on telly. And I was like, oh, I've got a cramp in my left testicle. Is that a spot in my arse? No, I'm sitting on my own balls. What a cramped up little car.
Yeah.
But I was starstruck seeing you two. I was. What? I was like, they could be my friends.
There we go.
Never had friends before. So yeah, but you should do that more and more for your channel.
Yeah.
100%.
That's something I would like to see from Connor as more.
Yeah,
To be fair,
it's like when you
there's one thing talking and have a conversation with a camera watching you. There's another thing talking to a camera. I prefer not to.
But if you don't even think it's there,
Well, I suppose that's the other thing
it's
too.
there now and you're not paying any attention to it.
This is what I said.
Yeah. Lad, it's like video recording yourself on the job and then watching it back. You're like, fuck, I'm not that fat actually. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, Jesus, it's not that small either.
You're recording some jobs there.
To bring things maybe back to bad company.
Sorry, yes.
So you've done the moped.
We did the moped as Buzz Lightyear. That was for Laura Lynn, and the message behind it was people not to feel underestimated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, as I said, it was designed to go around little towns and stuff.
Yeah.
Then the following year, we did 32 counties with the big cool, with the Volvo, for Irish road victims. Because basically we all do use the roads.
Mm-hmm.
It's
a very interesting charity.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something this maybe sounds quite bad, not ever something I would have ever heard of someone doing an event for, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is, obviously they do a great service for people who lose family members and stuff on the road.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and obviously enough being involved in lorries, I make a living from the road. Mm-hmm. And you do have to give your respect to the road. Now, don't get me wrong, I know fucking shit happens on the road, accidents happen on the road, this lad will cut off that lad, that lad will pull out in front of that lad, but that's the road.
Like my missus, she lost her previous partner to the road.
Yeah, actually, a friend. I lost a friend of mine this year.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Yeah, no, but we actually put our memorial on the side of the latest project. Mm-hmm. But basically, as you've seen there, like, you know, she lost a partner in a road traffic accident. It is something that does need to be acknowledged.
100%.
Oh, totally. And like, as she would openly have said to me, like, it's one thing being able to say goodbye to someone. It's another thing to, you know, in her instance, to be going about her daily activities and then to get that phone call.
Mm-hmm. I genuinely do think that road traffic accidents are up there with suicides in terms of the damage it can inflict on the close people around a person, because it is instant. Yeah. Your world, it's like, you know, like I lost my dad to cancer, Connor lost his mum to cancer. Like, it's one of them things where I guess, like, my dad's was quite rapid, but at the same time he was sick. You know, you go out and get hit by the big red bus, you never got a chance to say goodbye. You don't get any of that. I think that's just so sad. You know, and it is, you know, and that charity that you represent it is a charity that shouldn't, in an ideal world, wouldn't exist.
No, it's a charity that I don't think anyone wants to, not to go against the charity, but nobody wants to make that call.
Yeah.
No.
You know what I mean? Nobody wants to, no one wants to make any bad call. Mm-hmm. But those people, they actually do great service towards the families of loved ones that they've lost on the road. They actually do a really, really great thing for people. Mm-hmm. And it was just respect. You know what I mean? Through obviously enough know my backstory, and where I had to try and gain back my blank space in life, I had to use the road in order to get living, to get life back together. So it was respect, but I found it as respect to the Irish road victims for what they do for people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that came about then in 2022. That's what we done that. 2023, and I joined the Honda 50 Club in Monaghan.
Right.
My little 50, I love that little bike. And we done a fundraiser for Kevin Bell, where we went from Mallinhead to Mizenhead in 21 hours. Yeah.
Let's take going.
When we got to the finish line, they decided to tell me I was the only standard 50. Because every hill we came to, I was blaming me. I was like, fucking, I look like fucking Shrek up on a little bike, I was thinking. Because it was just, Honda 50 is a gutless little yoke on a hill.
No, they're not.
It is gutless. And the boys are like, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Well, that's
zoom.
the one they did.
I was like, what is going on here? Like, and all of me behind me is the service van. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'm such a fatty on a little bike, right? But they admitted that I was actually the only standard 50 on the run. Sure, max speed is 40 mile an hour. 43 best. But that was
made
for
it a
Kevin
great
Bell
achievement.
Fund. Yeah, correct and right. That's what I was about, and it was for the Kevin Bell Fund, which brings home loved ones from abroad. that's the service provided there.
Yes.
So, and I always give that. Now, that was me joining the boys. I always give the boys massive credit for that. That was an incredible thing. And like that, and I know we laugh about the Honda 50, and it only does 40 mile an hour. But every kilometre is a kilometre closer to the finish line.
Yes.
You just got to get started. Once you can get started, you're going. Once you're rolling, you're away. That's the way I see it. No matter what, whether it's uphill or downhill, once you're rolling, you're away. After that, if I had to be honest, Bad Company turned very serious. Bad Company turned very serious of, we purchased an absolute red rotten Reliant Robin. I mean, it was red rotten.
Like most of them.
It fell apart coming home in the back of the Transit. I mean, it was a car going into it, and the chassis had separated, because they're a fiberglass tub. The chassis had separated from the tub coming from Mayo in the back of the Transit. She was rotten. And when I say Bad Company got serious, what we done was we restored the Reliant. We put a bike engine in it, and anything that was going through Bad Company was going straight into it to build it. We were creating content. People were seeing this absolute shit box. They obviously couldn't see the bad messages that were coming in about it, about wasting me time and all that, but everyone gets that.
But why do people do that? It's not their fucking problem.
Because that's just to be a mouth. That's just to have something to say.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong. Like, and I think I may have explained this one to you already. Like, I put up a video of James Dean and Martin Richards drifting IS 200s at Mondello Park. I think I was telling you about this. And James Dean is probably, statistically speaking, the greatest drifter to ever have lived.
He's number one.
And Martin Richards is a Goliath of the UK drifting scene. He has been there since like day dot. So again, a very, very, very well versed competitor for James Dean. And they were putting them two cars side by side around Mondello in a way that no IS 200 has ever had business of doing. And I still got people commenting saying, I've seen better by kids at my crossroads.
And the same fella that wrote that wouldn't go sideways in a fucking shopping trolley.
No, I actually got quite creepy with some of his comments as well. Like, and it wasn't even like a funny kind of creepy. Like, it was just school shooter creepy vibes. And like, I was just like, you are literally like, and I get wound up, and I shouldn't, but I get wound up with these people not because of the bad comments, but because I just sit there and think, how fucking insignificant is your life?
Yeah.
Did you have the time to sit here and write? Like,
But that's people.
But you have two choices. You can either scroll on and say none, which is the easier option because it takes
100%.
less energy.
Yep.
Or you can sit and get wound up about it and get annoyed about something that doesn't even matter a fuck.
Yeah.
But weirdly, social media is a way, like, is nearly like a bit of a platform that those folk have been given or have seen
100%.
to say all these negative things.
Yeah. Yeah.
If there was no social media, he would have no platform to say anything.
He'd be still
Correct.
fucking sitting in his
Yeah, in his
bedroom.
mother's box room.
No,
Yeah. You know what I mean? Playing PS2. Wait, now, is there more than PS2s now? Is there a
PS5.
5?
5.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm really back in old school.
The
Yeah.
PS2, I think, was the OG though.
Sega Mega Drive.
Oh.
Yeah. Am I too old?
Nah.
Yeah.
Well, the only reason that Sony made the PlayStation was because there was a partnership with Nintendo to make a disc drive gaming console. And then Nintendo shit over them. So then they ended up making the PlayStation. And then PlayStation sort of shit Nintendo because they're sold.
Yeah.
Because the PlayStation originally then was seen as a CD player as well as a game console.
Yeah.
And then the only reason the PS2 sold so well back in the day was because it was a DVD player. An accessible DVD player for everybody.
Yeah.
So you could go to your ma, oh, this PlayStation plays games and DVDs. So instead of buying a €300 or €400 or in pound equivalent DVD player, you could have a PlayStation for cheaper.
Which also plays DVDs. The more you know.
It's all about marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then, so you're saying it got very, very serious.
Yeah,
So-
we got very serious because
And when you say we, are you saying the royal we? Or
No.
are you saying we as in we as you?
me.
Yeah.
Me. When it comes to Bad Company, there's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I said, every...
So you don't have like a team or anybody, like, do you have nobody helping you in the shed?
The Kieran. Kieran.
We Kieran Hickey.
We're Kieran Hickey. He's my cameraman. But like that, Kieran is working and doing his thing. He'd come up on a Sunday night there or a Saturday night, and he'd do a bit of camera work because I couldn't stay on top of it. Genuinely couldn't. And I was trying to build things and hold a camera, and
it's tough.
Yeah, and then I was trying to weld something, and I was welding it arseways, and I was dropping the camera, and then I dropped a hot spark on top of me screen, and the phone was like 2 days old in the hand. So Kieran, I do have to give Kieran big credit. When I say we, there's me. So we started building the Reliant, and we were building it away, and everything that came into bad company on sales for all the world, which I don't talk about, right? I don't know. People, like, I meet people and be like, you're the boss man of bad company. I'm the boss man of nothing. Like, there's more boss man in Bandit's testicles than they are in me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just fucking do it. Like, I don't talk like that. But we were putting it into Reliant to put the Reliant to the test. What we done then was the overheads of the charity were handled by bad company.
Okay.
Yes.
Right? Which means the charity gains more.
Yes.
Of course.
Now, we'd never, of anything we have ever done, nothing has ever come out from the charity to overcome anything or to look after a cost. That was always ours, because that was bad company's way of making the charity happen.
Yes, of course.
And like that, we got the Reliant up and running. We had the 650 to Villiner, and we went to Cork, met with the CEO and the boys in Cork, 100%, got a good bunch together, and we basically, the whole way up the country through counties, we joined it together with lorries that just jumped on at, like, obviously enough, I knew them, like, we'll say, Brian Buggy and the Kennedys and people like that. Like, they were waiting when we were passing the motorways, and they would just roll on. We get a rolling video. Kings of the Road were with us.
Yes.
They were doing the videoing. And we had Dennehy Motor Group, which was Des and Adele. They came with me this time as well. Dennehy's were always very good to me. They supplied the service van in Ireland. So we set sail then to do 2,000 kilometres in a three-wheeled van, in a home-built three-wheel Reliant.
Class.
Yeah,
Mad
2,000 kilometres start to finish. In something we'd built in the shed. So we said we'd build stuff and put them to the test. You know, people build stuff, they leave them there to be on show or display, or in your case, you build something to rip up the tarmac or whatever. Like,
All been well, yeah.
yeah. And we said we'd build them and put them to the test. So that's where, as I said, it got serious, because we put more into the projects and less into me, just to make it happen. And it did. It was for Ronald McDonald House Charity, which supply a service in the outer houses of hospitals for the parents.
Okay.
Yeah. So the parents get a decent shower, a place to sleep, a decent comfortable bed. They're not inside in a chair in the hospital on the wards. So that's what we done that for.
Fair play.
What did you do then for 2024?
2024
was fucking insane.
Was it really though? Was it really?
I'd say you tell me, but you're going to tell us anyway. So you may as well get into it.
Right. I got a Bedford Rascal, which I had bought from a friend of mine in County Louth. Right?
Yeah.
I had pulled it out of the briars in his yard, and I actually remember the house on his yard was rented by two fellas, and while I came on, he was like, Falvey, would someone not tell you to stop buying scrap? I was like, lad, this thing's golden. But she was red rotten. She was red rotten. So we loaded up the little rascal anyway, and I had a donor rascal that was crashed, and off we went. So, as I said, I was 23 with the Robin. So this year we got a Triumph GT 1050 bike again, and put it in the back, side mounted on the chassis of the rascal. Right? Now, bear in mind the rascal needed a lot of work. But do you remember there was a thing on TikTok where a Polish company put a full bike inside in a minivan.
Oh, Night Raid.
What's the name?
Night Raid.
Yeah.
Yeah. They put a full bench in, or a full
And they
bike.
called it Kevin.
Key van, yeah, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Night Raid.
called the rascal Willie. Right? Tiger Willie, because of the tiger stripes. Right? There was tiger stripes up it. And it was orange with black tiger stripes. So I was watching the videos of the thing. And them boys, I like what they did. I love what they did.
They done theirs like Stancy on air and all that there.
Yes.
Yeah.
But me, I was like, they should change. They should change. Like, they got a lot of overheating problems.
Yeah.
They got a lot of clutch problems.
Yep.
So I'm not one to judge. I'm only fucking learning me. So we built Willie, right? Willie was the rascal with the Triumph GT 1050 in it.
1050 being 1050cc?
Yeah.
Okay.
3-cylinder, 1000.
Three-cylinder?
3-cylinder. She's a Triumph threesome, as I used to call it, yeah. I used to go along going, you're the threesome in the back of her. You know, just trying to keep myself warm. Because I had no heaters. I had no heaters.
Huh?
No heaters. None. Not even the dash is blanked off. The dash is blanked off.
I see.
Yeah. We went from Mallinhead in Donegal, which is the top of Ireland, obviously, yeah, to the top of Europe. Yes. In a Bedford Rascal that we built at home.
With a motorbike engine.
With a motorbike engine in the back of it. 5,880 kilometres.
Fuck.
In a Rascal. And that's why I have 2 discs out my back. Because I was like this.
You drove through the snow with no heater.
I've gone through the Arctic Circle in a Bedford Rascal.
Was it actually snowing?
Snowing. -5.
Fuck.
She actually, I tell you straight, here's one that'll blow your mind. You're 2 tractor men.
Mm-hmm.
I ran her on John Deere coolant, okay? Because John Deere coolant is one of the top adjectives of coolant, okay? Because it's designed to cool more engine compartments in the new John Deeres.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a mix.
Okay.
There's they say on the drum 50-50, but they're going to have to say that. So Falvey decided to mix it 60-40. You know, just a little bit more coolant, just to look after me Triumph threesome. She froze the water side of the adjective. She froze half the rad coming back from Abriska, which is where the Aurora Sky Station is in northern Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, when we got off the boat in Gothenburg, Gothenburg to the Aurora Sky Station is 1,600 kilometres one way. Yeah, one way. Yeah, and we had gone through Germany, Holland, UK, and Ireland.
I just assumed you'd maybe got a boat from Holland to Gothenburg, or maybe Holland, Denmark, Gothenburg.
Nope. We got the boat from Germany, from Kyle in Germany to
Oh,
Gothenburg.
right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, because we said we were just going to go the hog. Just, you know what I mean? We went on our way from the top of Ireland, because I could always say we went from the top of Ireland to the top of Europe. We've gone up through the Arctic Circle.
That's mental.
If you go in, there's like a point in the Arctic Circle where you're in the centre, and there's a big dome. If you look up, there's bad company stickers stuck everywhere in the rafters, and outside there's a big sign about the Arctic Circle, and there's a big bad company sticker slapped in the middle of it. I had to do it.
That's class.
Deadly.
And that was this year's run. It was wild. It was, and so many. Now, I don't think they doubted me or whatever, but it was a massive undertaking in a Bedford Rascal.
So did you get anybody like calling you out on this?
What do you mean?
Anybody like saying, "Oh, you're stupid," or "That's here"?
Oh, we had one man. We had one man in TikTok comments take off. Now, how can I be real as well as tell the story? Is he's a man that would... Do you know what? It's actually... That's his man's own private life, but he has a beverage in the middle of the night and turns to social media.
Okay.
And
Right,
so
okay, I understand.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that, but yeah.
Yeah. He drinks during the night. at this one man, and I know the man, but he took to social media about my choice in engine and how I'll regret it and I'm wasting my time, it's a ball of shit and all the above. I still have not replied to that man, even with the proof of the engine going there and coming back, because of why would I go onto social media to fight back when that man could take up my reply the wrong way
At the wrong time of night.
at the wrong time of night,
Yeah.
with a beverage on board.
Yeah.
No, do you know what? You have your opinion, buddy. You have you. I'm not here to fight you back.
Yeah.
I'm here to raise money for a charity. That's me. The two things I said to Kieran was, we're going to raise money for charity, and people are going to learn a lesson from this. People will learn, even see them the whole journeys. Like, we started off in Ireland, and then we overheated twice in Donegal. Now, when we build something, we road test them.
Yeah, of course.
The road test is my house to my mother's. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. More problems, more blown fuses, more over, whatever. We sort them out. Obviously, going to Sweden, we didn't have that time frame, because if we had to leave it another while, we wouldn't have travelled at all.
It would have been too
snowy.
Too snowy, yeah.
Yeah. So we had a very small time frame. Before we left to go to Donegal, obviously we'd everything done, stickered up. I got my friend's memorial for Claire down the side of the truck, because her favourite colour was orange and Willie's orange.
Yeah.
Had everything done. Bang. Ran into ratios. The diff was 3.5 diff. 6-speed Triumph engine. So basically at 7,000 revs I was doing 40 mile an hour.
Sounds like my P100.
So we dropped that. Could not wait. Now literally we were meant to be leaving at 1 o'clock to go to Donegal on the Friday. Ringing everyone, not knowing an axle from a Jimmy, which was the wrong direction, because the Jimmy's a 4.3. Out into the
So
yard.
it'd be 30 mile an hour, 7,000 RPM.
Yeah, out into the yard, rooting for an axle. I own a Reliant Robin ambulance, right? It was built by a builder company in the UK, but it's a really rare Reliant Robin ambulance. It was flipped on its side.
Surprise. Who'd have thought? 3 wheels and a high centre of gravity.
Yeah, I flipped it over. We marked our centres on the wheels. We turned the diff 1.5. Chop.
Just call it out over.
An ambulance. Now, I mean, when I was putting in the diff, or putting in the back axle, the water was dripping out of the flange, out the seal. And I said, say nothing. I just told myself to say nothing to nobody now. Just put it in there. Let's just get this changed. So I was kind of like, got it all dummied up anyway, and Des with me, and I had Kieran, and I was like trying to rub the floor. I was like this on the floor, getting rid of the water. And Des admitted when we got to Sweden, he was like, when we were going up the country with this to the start line, I said, this won't work. When we left Donegal, and we overheated twice because the fan was too small. I had an R1 fan. And we actually got a big industrial one on the way down the road. And Kieran was like, we're not going to get out of Donegal. So I had one man that said it wasn't going to work, the axle.
Yeah.
And the next man was just, I'd say if she piled one more time, Kieran would have said right up in the trailer. So that was fine. We got on the bigger fan and we got going. Like, even when we overheated, we stopped. We cooled down, we got more coolant, we got going again. And that was grand. Across the UK, never missed a beat. The big Triumph. Onto the boat for a 9-hour sail to Holland. And absolutely loved Holland. The Dutch loved it. The Dutch loved Willie going.
They love the colour orange, like.
They loved it. I'd have done Dutch style with the Talmos and FL10 roof lights.
Yes.
And that I do it. There's a Volvo ends up somewhere in it.
Yeah, you have the Falvey written in the Volvo font on the rear as well, and the
across
spoiler.
the spoiler, like a Formula 1 car.
That's class.
So Germany, they didn't take to it.
No,
They didn't see the funny side.
No.
Their petrol is piss.
Really?
I mean, she ran like a babe. Ireland, England, Holland. put that fucking petrol in Germany into her, and she did not like it.
Did you hardly put on E85 a mistake?
It was the blue stuff,
I don't know.
the blue pump.
I don't know. E85. I think you need to have like.
I
certain-
thought blue made it harder.
I have no idea what blue is. In
Maybe
German.
they're just my tablets.
And there we go.
Ba-dum-tsh.
Back again.
Yeah, but she didn't like the petrol in Germany.
Interesting.
Then we got onto a 14-hour sail from Kiel in Germany to Gothenburg. And obviously, Kieran stayed in Ireland, and we had Dell and a Des in a service van, and everyone was still, okay. So we set sail off up Stockholm, heading up to the north of Sweden. And further up we were going, the colder it was getting. And Des was like, and I had the big fur coat on me. I was like, I'm fine. And my knees were banging off the steering column, freezing. And we got to the Arctic Circle, and they were like, well, sure, we're here. And I was like, no, we're not. The Aurora Sky Station is 300 kilometres more north. And they were like, oh yeah, I forgot you said you were going to Aurora. I was like, well, I said it. Do it. So we topped up Willie again with fuel, and off we went. The whole way to the Aurora Sky Station in Abriska in Sweden. Turned around back down. Drove her all the way back to Gothenburg. Got the long ferry from Gothenburg, which was actually 100% bad company paid the ferries out.
Yeah.
Right, because as I said, that's our contribution to make it happen.
Yep, of course.
You have to put in the effort to make a charity run happen, and people donate to it, and people in need win. That's, you know what I mean. Our boat home is actually sponsored.
Oh,
Yeah, by Cooper Heavy Haulage.
Right.
In County Meath.
okay.
They sponsor us the long ferry home.
Fair play.
I know the lads well, right? Paul is the transport manager there. Paul got in touch with me. Hey lad, sorted. Go to the FTS, blah, 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 blah. In 20 hours, I'll have you back in the UK. No problem, Paul. Thanks. Got on the ferry. Paul texts me. Sorry, it's a 27-hour sail. Or was it? Have a nice sail, kiss, kiss. I mean, the carpet is this much lower in that ferry now from me walking up and down the hall. I mean, now I was pacing the boat.
You didn't have a cabin or anything on it?
I got a cabin,
Oh, you got a cabin?
Got a cabin, got me dinner, got the whole kit and caboodle, could sit down and watch a bit of telly. I was just going off me noodle. I was going to go down to take the Willie apart and put it back together again.
One while he was getting taken apart.
Yeah. There was a Willie getting attention somewhere. It wasn't mine. Into Immingham in the UK.
Yeah?
So, obviously, now, if I have to rewind back, travelling through Sweden, obviously up through the wild reindeers, we have all the videos of them and everything. And I seen this big ass moose. And I was like, if he ducks down his head and goes, his antlers that go at either side of the cab of the little fucking rascal, I won't be able to get out.
Yeah.
He'll be like, he will eat me. So I was
They're
like,
vicious bastards, they're not them vicious, yeah.
I was like, don't blow the air horn, don't do anything stupid, just keep creeping along the road. But after I had come out of that part and zooming along, because it's an 804 road, obviously because of winter conditions, straight into a fucking pothole. And I launched out of the seat of the Bedford, bounced off the roof, everything came off the floor, the dash. The lads said the four wheels came off the ground. Oof. It actually looked like a child getting a kick in the arse because the arse of the rascal stood up. And I put my tracking out.
Oh.
Right? So got back in England and the canvas was coming out through the inside of the left wheel. Pulled in anyway, and Des was there, and he says, "Jeez," he says, "that won't see it." He says, I said, "Right, get me a bar." So put a stone in the valve, got a bar, and I sat down, drive up on the rim with his van. So the tyre popped off, the bead. Screwdrivered it off, spun it, but only put 20 pounds in her going back, because at least then she's a little bit weaker if she's going to blow. So I had the good tread back on the inside where she was wearing the most.
Yeah.
Just to get me home, because I said there was no way in hell I'm ringing a call out man at 2:30 in the morning to come to me at Lincoln when I'm going to be taking the tyres off when I get home anyway, because I was going to change front wheels. They're odd wheels on it now. So he was like, how did you even think of this? I was like, lad, timber has taught me everything. Survival. I said, this is just, we have to keep going.
I suppose if you had to swap the tyres around, you'd end up with 2 bad tyres. Yeah.
So we just spun the tyre on the rim and put the good thread back on the inside. And I was like, I really hope the boys do not see this.
I was going to say, because getting off the boat, you'd be like,
I was in 6th gear, just barely scuttering along like they probably said, oh, look at the little tonka tie. You know what I mean? Like, and we sailed back home then out of Wales back into Wexford.
oh, Rosslare.
Yeah, Rosslare, yeah. Rosslare, Pembroke. I never go Dublin for some reason. I just don't go that way.
I suppose it's easier.
Yeah, from my end of the
From
country.
your part of the country, I haven't ever won out of Rosslare once.
That's the way we came back. But it finalised anyway at 5,880 kilometres in a home built rascal.
Mental.
And we raised 16,480 euros.
Fair fucks.
For Great Ormond Street in London, which is a kids' hospital.
And I know you're going to get more, because I was chatting to a couple of boys who still have to throw you a bit of money.
Yeah, a lot of lads message me.
Yeah, I know a couple of boys who...
Make-A-Wish Foundation in Ireland. So, because, and like last year, we raised Ronald McDonald UK, Ronald McDonald Ireland. Because if you're going to travel through, acknowledge it, raise for them as well. And I do have a lot of friends in the UK.
Yep.
And a following there, so fair is fair. You know what I mean? So it was magic. And I actually sat down with Kieran after. I said, "Now, Kieran, you've seen it firsthand." He was like, "You're right. People do make magic." I said, "People keep you driven in these things." I said, "I didn't give a shit how cold I was. I didn't give a shit what had to happen. I said I was going to go there and we were going to do this for a kids' charity. I'd eat that little truck and spit it out to the finish line." I said, "That's just the way it goes. There's no, oh well, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah.
It was cold. Sorry, the wheel fell off. Sorry, it got airlocked. Sorry, it's boiling." No. Go.
In some way, shape or form,
We're doing it.
it's
Correct.
nearly like it doesn't matter how bad things are, there's probably somebody out there that's worse off.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And you're picking up on this. You're seeing exactly the message.
Yeah.
Plus, and I explained this to Kieran, let's call the run life. Let's just call it just a way of life. Started off in Ireland, we had a few hiccups. You can't tap out that handy. We got them sorted. If we tapped out there, we never would have made our fucking goal.
Yeah.
You never would have got there.
Yeah, we hit torrential rain. We hit cold. I was travelling through Holland, right, listening to the Verve with the sleeves cut off my t-shirt and a fucking cornetto in my hand with the heat, right, loving life, travelling through Holland. I was frozen Sweden. But that's life. All them parts of the road, they're going to come and go. You're going to see them seasons, you're going to see them, that rain, you're going to see that cold, you're going to see that sunshine.
Yeah.
You can't go and say, "Oh, I'm turn around now." No. You go. You know what I mean? The two things I said were to raise money for charity,
Yeah.
and that people looked and learned to keep going. It doesn't matter how dark it is. It doesn't matter how much you're telling yourself, "I can't." You can.
You just got to keep doing it.
You can. Even if you have to stand to one side and say, "Listen, I can. I can go another foot. I can go another inch. I can go another mile." Even if it's by yourself, you don't
Yeah,
need
of
to
course.
sing it from the rooftops. Just you, just to put power in you, and you'll get there. Bit by bit by bit by bit.
Hopefully, anybody listening to this and listening to yourself, Peter, talk, hopefully it helps somebody.
I hope it does. I hope it does. I think you feel like where the bills come from and what the message we have behind them.
Yeah.
Oh, of
Like,
course.
don't get, and now I'm not trying to come at someone saying this, right? And I do admire like the gumball rally and the cannonballs and 100% support what you're doing. You're doing something massive for chat. But
I know what you're going to say. Yeah,
the everyday man will not have a 200 grand Lamborghini with
and the free time.
Not the free time, but the fact of I have a puncture now. I need a spark plug, and hang up the phone. Not everyone's going to have that in life.
No.
You know what I mean? And I'm so sorry to use them as an example, because they do incredible things. I'm not trying to hate on them. But in a realistic world, not everyone has that.
Yeah.
No.
And it doesn't matter, even if it's something as small as a rascal, you can keep going.
Yeah. You're nearly, it's like the person that is nothing can still do something.
Yeah. Correct. And even a good friend of mine now, he knows me very well. He was explaining to a person, they were like, geez, that was enough. And he was explaining to her, he was like, that's that man. That man doesn't deal in thousands of millions. And he could go out tomorrow, he said, and buy whatever fancy car, but he will not. Because he wants to lead by example. And he wants people to look and see, well, if that old battered old thing can get changed into something good, and can get put to the test, well, why can't I?
Mm-hmm. Oh, of course, yeah.
Not as in their car, but as in the person themselves. So let's just call a spade a spade. Willie was above rotting away in the thistles in County Louth. I became Willie's mindset and Willie's heart. Willie's drive.
Mm-hmm.
Willie the rascal went to Sweden.
Yeah.
He's been to the top of Europe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Came back, and like I say it again, people were like, this is... And I was like, yep, done. I'm not Billy Big Dick. I want people to look and learn. I want people to see. That's what matters to me. Like, I don't promote half... Everyone gets on to me that I don't promote half enough of bad company, but I don't. Because I'd just rather see people say, I feel good today. Yeah. I feel good today.
People are going to watch it. People are going to watch.
Yeah.
And hopefully they're watching for the right reasons.
I had a shit day yesterday, but you know what? The sun doesn't shine every day.
Yep.
Yeah, no. True.
Yeah. It just, you know what I mean?
This too shall pass.
Yeah. It's like the little story of Willie. It's just, you see it. You see it now. Like, and people come out and people support us. Like obviously I'm a Kilkenny man. We stopped in Mayo. We met a group of people, because when we do them things, we assign stops where people can meet up with us and we can get pictures, and kids can sit in the truck, and but a little girl came out and she had Mayo colours, and I hung them on the back of the spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was saying to me, they're like, but you're not a Mayo man. I was like, I know.
It's for her, not for me.
It's for her. And I said, that little girl stayed up the night before making her little Mayo bunting to show support, because she believed in Willie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, and I know people were doubting it, because that was a huge undertaking in such a small little thing, built at home. We went through all our engineering reports, we went through DOE testing, we did because obviously for social media,
it has to be legitimate.
It has to be legit, because they're only waiting to say, you buy, come here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So we went through our engineer's report, done everything, done all the work ourselves. I mean me. Yeah. And that's Willie. That's Willie the icon, and everything that's raised money for people is sat below in the shed. And one day I will actually just build a warehouse or something and line them all up.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the way I see it is, people will say, I remember supporting that car.
Yep.
And they'll say to family members, I remember sharing the Facebook post about this car. I had done it for Laura Lynn, and I remember this little bike. People remember them things.
Yep.
They're memories.
They do.
Yeah. That's why I said I'd hold on to them. Because I was asked several times to even sell the Aerox, to sell the Cinquecento. I was like, no.
Absolutely not.
No, couldn't. Actually, I always remember, I wrote across the Cinquecento, which was for Piet House, if you haven't a dream, you have nothing. So even if you're dreaming, chase the dream. You don't need anything else.
Well, would you ever, Peter, thinking of, say, the likes of the Ploughing or different shows? Would you ever, I don't know if you have a low loader or if you don't.
Yeah.
If you do, throw all on
Yeah.
and have a wee stall.
Yeah.
And then show, show your content through all the different
Yeah. Even at the Plough match this year, we actually brought the 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
She was on display on Moira and Signs, full of the pipe truck show. Oh, we had Big Cool and the 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know 100% where you're coming from.
Yeah, and show, and then basically you can have maybe a set charity for this show or set charity for that show.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
passers-by can see.
Well, what I did plan a few years ago, and I just said I would build things up first, is because obviously there's a second lorry that's going to be on the show scene as well, is try to make a Bad Company stand for all the world.
Yeah.
But basically I would supply a DJ on my own stand and whatever else, but people make a donation to visit the stand.
Yeah.
Whether it be wrong, right? I know you can go and to a show and a truck show and look at everything willy-nilly, but if Bad Company was to supply that little bit of entertainment that you could walk through,
Yeah, of course.
give a donation.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so funny because all the lads always say, like, we should not go get an old bit of a velvet rope. And I'm like, well, my fuck. They're my gear. No, please don't damage them or whatever. But if you do, you do. You can't cry about it. Like, you know what I mean? If someone hits against it, it hits against it. Accidents happen. So.
You hope people have the respect not to. Though.
Correct. That's what I'd be hoping for. So, yeah, that's where that is.
I don't know if any of you have noticed, but we're at nearly 3 hours.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah.
Holy fuck, it's 12:30.
Is it?
It is, it's 12:30.
12:30.
So I'm.
And not a child in the house washed. Not a child in the house washed.
So I guess to bring this maybe to a close, because we've been rambling for some length of time. I said about this at the start, and I said I was going to come back to it, and I've been waiting the whole fucking podcast to come back to it.
Oh, no.
Every vehicle has a story, you say.
Yep.
So say you do come across an old abandoned London taxi cab.
I'm biased.
What's the story for that? Abandoned black London taxi cab.
Yeah, well, see, I actually don't have my Transit here in my defence, right? You do know the story of the Transit, don't you? My old Transit.
The wait.
The old grey Transit.
No.
Right. Real long story short. I left my old pairs on a Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock, in a Transit van.
Yes.
I returned back Sunday with a Transit camper.
Oh yeah. No,
The
I
same
know
van.
that. Yeah. I
Right.
knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. I converted to a camper to go to Mali.
24 hours. Yep.
Yeah.
I knew all that. Yeah.
Everyone calls it the fake camper van. I have a big canvas. A man actually drew it, right? A man in Galway, of my Transit with Bad Company spray painted on the side of it. Fake camper van rolling across the top. So I'm kind of already getting there. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of already getting there. So maybe, hey, you can keep your London taxi. That's been done.
I'm just
fake
thinking,
camper van.
I'm just thinking like a Triumph engine on one of them taxis.
No, believe it or not, we need to go Kawasaki this time. And now we left out one build, which we won't get back to because it was actually built as a hot rod.
Okay, yeah.
But I have an extremely vicious smart car
Yeah.
that I built in 8 weeks.
But you can listen to that on the Tasty Golf Shape podcast.
Yes, it was the first space frame smart car.
That thing's fucking nuts, by the way.
I built in a shed in Tipperary
Yeah, it's mental.
with a V-twin SV 1000 in the back of it. It is one aggressive little car.
It just wants to wheelie.
It wants to kill me. It actually got to the point.
Just like jump into it with your wheelie bin on.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think the wheelie bin's going to save me. 'Cause I'm in it like this, right? I'm like a little fat kid, like sitting up on a fucking merry-go-round or something, but a very scary merry-go-round. It's a very aggressive little car. It has busted 2 drive shafts in a grass field, fighting for grip, but has just rung them like carrots with sheer torque. Because there's no weight in her. Very little weight, and I space framed it.
Space framed it yourself, by the way?
Myself, yeah.
Well, manual pipe bender.
Yes, manual pipe bender.
That's torture.
Fucking hell.
Telling you, boy, we're hardly done our way. Yeah, manual pipe bender, and put this V1000 in the back of her. The TL tried to kill me because I jumped into it. It split the front liner, filled the cylinder with water, built up so much compression it blew the spark plug into the car. I mean, it shot over my shoulder. I know it's trying to kill me, but I'm actually getting a little bit of a kick out of it. I'm like, let's play this game.
One of us dies first.
Yeah. There's 2 things going to happen here, right? You're going to kill me or I'm going to kill you. That's how it's going to be. That's how me and the smart car talk to each other. But when I drive it, like, I haven't even got out and track yet. Because literally, as the year went, it was just every weekend was shows, meets, events, shows.
Well, it was built for mud billies.
Built for mud billies, made the deadline for mud billies, got 10 yards off the trailer. Sank through the ground. I mean, now the muck, like track machines were struggling to travel on it. It was just like a swamp. Back on the trailer and back to Pembroke we go. The whole way, dragged it the whole way to Devon, got 10 yards off the trailer and had to get lifted back on the trailer because it actually wouldn't go back its own tracks. They were that bad. Back onto the trailer and back to Pembroke, back home. Got it back home and then blew the engine. So I had to go off and get another engine. We went for the SV, which was the injected part of the TLs, and that just made her aggressive. It's one angry little car, and I just, you know what I mean? It's, my devil horns start to appear when I'm sitting in it. I'm like, yeah, you scary little fucker. You want a wheelie, do you? We'll see about that.
That's fucking
And I'm in it opposite locking going left, and she's like, nah, I'm going right, bud. And the helmet is dragging the head off myself. I'm like, oh, my leg. But I just won't give into it. So, as regards what's going to be built next, we think we'll finish our podcast there, man.
Tell us, what can we find you on socials? Socials
is Instagram at FalveyXL, Snapchat FalveyXL, and TikTok is FalveyXL Bad Company.
Yeah.
And YouTube is Falvey's Bad Company. So that's all that. And there's a Bad Company Facebook page there as well.
Class. Can we say it's been
an absolute pleasure having you on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you enjoy that?
Oh, that's surely.
That was class.
Did you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
Well, as long as you're happy, man, I'm happy.
That's grand.
I have to go to Lurgan Town with my knickers down.
And on the topic of being happy, let's just set the scene for being unhappy.
Once you're happy, man, that's all that matters. And as I said, and thanks so much for having me up.
No,
thanks
pleasure.
thanks so much for inviting me up. I really hope I don't come across arrogant in any of your interview.
I don't think you could have given across arrogant there.
Do you know what? Not that I'd ever give a fucking flying fuck anyway.
Probably inspirational.
Well, that's one thing I'd be aiming for, but not that I give a flying fuck anyway. But I said that again. Fuck. Sorry. Thanks for having me, boys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
Yeah.
I'm not running anybody else down, but we've never ran on that long just with a full story, and it nearly needed to be that long just to get everything in.
Yeah. I mean, we've had other guests for considerably long times. Hugh in the last podcast was a very long podcast as well.
Yeah.
But and the same as actually Hugh and quite a few other guests, we're only really getting half the story.
True. We are.
We could do another full podcast with Falvey, no bother. And to be honest, in the future, probably will.
Oh, most definitely. And hopefully people listening to that will have seen the underlying theme that he was
Yes.
going with.
Absolutely.
And he sort of went to us, you get it?
Now you're getting it. Yes, now you see where we're coming from, and the whole. Well, it's quite simple when you think about it. You take something that's basically been thrown away and abused and discarded, and you take it and make it good and make it achieve great things.
Oh, of course.
And that is basically his sentiment is, you may think you're down in the dumps today, you may think you've nothing going for you, but you can achieve greatness. And this is the story, and this story represents you. This could be you.
Yes, like
That's very
hopefully
powerful.
if
Very
there
powerful.
are folk, and there probably is folk that are having a tough time, hopefully you mightn't be able to drive to a beach, but hopefully you can metaphorically put a
says-
line there,
think-
and you can cross that line and realise, you know, when
At that point in the conversation, I just sat pretty much in silence. You don't really hear me speak much for quite a lot of that conversation. Actually, I just sat in silence. I was just listening to him because, like, especially where he says I went to the beach. Pardon me. He says I went to the
Excuse
beach
me.
and I just drew the line in the sand. And it's like the second I cross that. I mean, you've already heard it here, like, but the second I cross that, there's no going back. Like, and again, he also says, you know, there's no, people talk about the glass half full and the glass half empty. He goes, the glass is always full. Make sure the glass is always full. Things like that, and even like just the way, like, he done a lot of bigging you up, Connor. Like,
Yeah,
you
no.
know, he done a lot of that, and I think that's something I've been telling you for a while, and I'm even saying that to you. I think probably has maybe give you a bit of confidence.
oh no, like I know I made sort of a statement that yes, I'm the type of person that, you know, enjoys other, like, watch and say, like, somebody was really good at Call of Duty back in the day. I'd nearly preferred watching them than trying to better myself, because I enjoyed, I don't know, like back in the day watching YouTube videos of people doing really well in Call of Duty and stuff back in the day, you know. I suppose I enjoyed that, and he was sort of like, no, you need to be the one that's improving and doing better, and, you know, come out your comfort zone a bit.
We all said there was potential there, like, so.
But what a guy. And it just goes to show nobody should ever judge a book by its cover.
No, absolutely not.
Whether
That
it be
man has been around some corners.
whether it be a person, a or any sort of situation.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll quickly rattle through some of the last
Yes.
bits and pieces, big old skids and one wee pins.
So for a world first, Connor's a big old skid. I know.
Jesus.
I know.
Wow.
It only took you 2 times to react.
That's what happens when you daydream. So, what is it? I'm intrigued to know.
NC made something I didn't know was a thing.
Oh, I actually think I have seen this.
A tipping slurry tanker.
Right.
That the back end of it opens.
You would use that for the likes of gully waste. Like, if you were, so it's a big thing. I don't know if it's how they would do it here, but I'm assuming maybe they would use it for cleaning out or something. It's an easy way of cleaning them out. But if you're actually in America or like New Zealand or Australia, they use sucker trucks. Is what they're called.
Okay.
And basically, it's a high pressure hose and a big vacuum kind of thing. And basically, when
Is
you're
it like the road sweepers
yes, when you're
here?
cleaning out gullies, like you're walking about.
But that
this
goes
high-
in the back of a tractor, like.
Yes, I know, but it's one of them things. Maybe it's the same thing where it's just like a high pressure hose and a vacuum,
Right.
and possibly.
Dunno.
That's what I looked at and went, oh, I wonder could that be? But they don't do hydrovacing over here.
The only
so it's probably
thing I-
more likely maybe for someone who's drawn like maybe cheese sludge or something like that, or lactose.
All I could think of was, geez, that'd be well handy to raid a tank and put it into a lagoon.
Maybe that's what it was for.
You know, that was the first thing that came in my head.
That's maybe what it was for. I'm maybe thinking of it too.
Or like, imagine you're going up, you're going down the hill. You could just tip the slurry tanker up, and she'd raid the load.
That is a job because that is frustrating with a tanker. That is frustrating. You're coming down a hill and you're on
Imagine, like, I don't know, randomly she could have a self-leveling thing, and she raised the hydraulics as you're going down a hill.
that would be a good show. Actually, to be fair, because there's nothing more frustrating.
Nobody patent that, please.
Because you going down the smallest decline, and suddenly the tankers just start going blowing gas. And
Or
you're
the other thing is-
I know there's still about like I
It
don't
would
know
be the
500 litres left, and you get like
The other thing is, be the handiest way to clean the tanker out ever.
Yeah.
You just tip her up and put the puros in.
I would imagine if it's not going to be for hydrovacs, but that's what they use, and that's how they empty those trucks in like America and all. Like they basically tip them into like a big hopper to clean, and then get screened out, and that's how they clean up hydrovac waste and stuff. But I would imagine it'd be for like maybe like say cheese sludge or something like that, maybe. Or
Don't know, but like I'm thinking that is, even more tankers, even the hydraulically opened back hatch would be some job.
I think even your tilting idea, just raising it up, so whenever you
imagine you're in like, I don't know, some of Armagh's ground where it's hilly enough for New Zealand would be a great place for sweat
absolutely.
Hilly.
Serious hilly.
The tip and slurry tanker.
The only thing is, you start tapping, it raises your centre of gravity. So you don't want to maybe have a bad bump when it's tipped up and the whole thing just go.
Like you're not, you're not Michael. You're not thinking about that. You're going downhill, like, and you're tipping it up.
Scary enough seeing a slurry tanker go.
Why do you normally try to tip slurry tankers?
No, but I had it once. I had a real bad bump, not far from here. Like literally, I was going out and I was pulling up on like a grass on like a ditch, and basically I didn't realise that there was like this big hole in the ditch, and I had it with the tanker, and I thought, I was like, looked in behind me, and the slurry tanker was literally like that. Now, it probably was nowhere near close to be going honest, over, but when you see air underneath the tyres of a slurry tanker, you panic.
But see, the first of the recess tankers, I think the actual recess would have been quite low down, whereas now, if you look at a two, like, somebody once asked me, was my tanker like a 2,500 gallon because she was so big, but it was because the recess is quite low down.
Yes.
Whereas now the recess is,
like
she's low centre of gravity, basically. So like you're going to be a wild pilot, or a terrible pilot to tip one of them. Excuse me.
Don't tell me my phone's died. No, but it's not far off. It's on 5% battery, 3% battery. Okay. Let's see, and try and rattle through this then. So the first one I had is, I forgot to take the name because I'm an idiot, but it was actually the British Car Museum. The video for it's hilarious. The man doing the video, he says you actually can buy a year's ticket. He says it's like off like one of the motorways. Can't remember which one I have it. I didn't. Forgot to write it down. The video was class. It's off one of the motorways, and he says you can actually, because you get a year's ticket, you can actually park there for cheaper and use it as like the world's most prestigious service station.
Oh really?
Yeah, and it's class. It's all like British cars and all, and you walk through. Honestly, some of the stuff on it is phenomenal. So I've decided I'm going to hit that at some point in the British Car Museum. I'll try and convince John or Casper when we're over to go do it, because we'll be in England quite a lot with work. So Reese Bruce sent me a video of a Volvo brick drift car, probably they're a 740 or 240. I love Volvo, them big turbo bricks. I absolutely love them. I think they're so cool. Just big, ignorant rear wheel drive, send them sideways, they're class. Hugh Barr sent me a video of Pascal Donnelly's Diablo Red Phase 1 306 sedan. I
think I've seen that.
You probably have. The only thing that I wish it would change is I don't like Harriers, the standard D-turbo alloys. It just needs to be in like a set of Cyclones or something. But other than that, Diablo Red, one of the best colours in them, in my opinion. So it's, fair play. I think it's still a work in progress. So Darren Finneran sent me a thing that was like, don't mind me just vibing to the 207 seatbelt alarm. Do you remember my old 207 seatbelt alarm?
No.
Oh, fuck, it'll put your head away. And finally, Owen Smith sent me a video there of the Homley Hornet. So Niall and Owen have the tractor puller. So he sent me a video of it, and the thing, I don't know whether they've ever tuned up, they've done something, or she's running, if Niall's maybe just got on there a bit better. That thing is running like an absolute animal now. I know they done the clutch pack center, but fucking hell, it's running savagely. So
yes,
that's
she's a wagon and a half.
Class, unreal, and that's me out.
So that's all for this fortnightly podcast, folks.
It is indeed.
Thanks very much for
listening. If you've got this far,
it might be the following Sunday. but hopefully you've got there, or you might be waiting on episode 48, might be out tomorrow for all I know.
At this point,
Thanks very much for listening this length. As always, if you're on YouTube, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Michael now eventually gets back to this. Yes, I am fucking useless. On Spotify, please subscribe and all that crap.
Notifications so you don't miss
Yes.
any other
Fortnightly podcast.
Yep, don't miss any more podcasts. We're at limit, sleep differences and everything. We're both tired. Our brains have stopped working.
Well, my brain seems to be functioning slightly better than yours.
Well, I'm checking out.
You're knackered.
I'm knackered.
You're ready for the knacker yard.
Yeah, heading to the knackery. Right.
Underscore Michael Skull and underscore and everything.
Yes.
Connor.McGoo and everything. Thanks very much, folks.
Best of luck.
Ta-ra.
Bye now.